All right. I'll start the intro now. That's hilarious. I think there's a bit of lag between when I changed it to the intro and when I hit go live. So it actually went live before the intro started, and then it went to the intro. Hi, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. We're back here today to do another live stream, another top 10 list. This time it's probably a little bit more joyful than the last list we did for our top 10, not including the ChatGPT one, of course. Today we're doing the top 10 games that we would like to see resurrected. So we're looking at some games that we want to see come back, that we want to see revived and brought back to some sort of, 4K ray traced goodness. Maybe 1440p, a little bit cheaper. But today, as often, we have with us
800 frames per second.
800 frames per second. That's right. It's about the FPS, not the pixels. So we have Dom with us today. Hey, Dom, how's it going?
Hello.
And we have Jamie as well. Jamie, Mossy Mosh, and myself, Sam. So what's up, guys? How's it going?
Not bad. A bit sick today, but we're going to push through.
Just forewarning everybody, I'm running on about 4 hours of sleep. So
So what's great about that?
By Red Bull and caffeine.
The lack of sleep has a similar effect on the brain as drinking. So, hey, you're in for a good night, and it's going to be probably cheaper than a six-pack.
Just make sure, give me a phone call or something if I pass out in between 3 and 2.
We'll call your next of kin. I'm not sure we've got those details at hand, but
we'll get Scott. Scott's on standby.
Scott's ready to go. All right. No, that sounds good.
Going live to satellite, we've got Scott on standby.
Hey, can I ask real quick before we get into this? I'm really curious to see what you guys made of this. How did you guys interpret franchise?
A franchise is just the IP. So I looked at it as a series of games. So I wouldn't have had Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 7. Yeah. And also I looked at subgenres in a franchise as well. Yep. So types, ways, games that have been released.
I looked at mainly a series. So there's been multiple games of so-and-so number 1 and so-and-so number 2. But then there's also 1 or 2 in there that are more of a genre defining kind of game, as opposed to they did have multiple series or multiple entries, but it's not just them doing the heavy lifting. It's the lifting. It's the style of that game as well.
Yeah, cool. Right. All right. Sounds like we're all on the similar page. Yeah, I excluded all games that were just single entries. It was franchise. It's got to have run for a while. There's got to be a few entries in this series.
Oh, fuck that! No, I've got stuff that's standalone. It's a franchise if there's one game. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
A franchise can fail after one episode. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
To be clear, you were saying that this is going to be a happier list. Let's be honest. This is us going, we don't want these games back. We want the way that we felt when we played these games back.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I want these games back. 100%. No, fuck that. I'll take them back any day. Any day.
With Dom.
All right. Well, let's get started then.
Look, I'm lying to ourselves, Sam.
Well, we'll see.
What's the order? Do you want to go same order as last time? Me, Sam, Dom?
Oh, fuck. I couldn't even remember what the order is, but let's go Dom, me, Jamie, just to be contrary. So
nice.
I guess we'll start off with number 10 then, shall we? Dominique, if you want to go.
All right. This is a game that there are plenty of entries in this franchise, and they've all been well received, but it's been a long time since we've seen an entry into this game. 2013 was the last time we had an entry. That's over 10 years ago. I am, of course, referring to Grand Theft Auto.
Fuck off.
Well, boy, do we have good news for you, Dom?
Go play online. Anyway, sorry. I said happy episode.
Grand Theft Auto is at its heart a single player game. Grand Theft Auto Online is a good, it can be fun, but it's not a Grand Theft Auto game in itself. It's a chaos sandbox is what Grand Theft Auto Online is. There hasn't been a standalone single player entry since 2013. That's over 10 years ago since it came out.
No shit.
There has been standalone single player entries since then. It's just been Grand Theft Auto 5 on PS3, then PS4, then PS5, Xbox One, Xbox S.
Game again does not count, Sam.
Was it Vice City? Sorry.
Vice City was so good. Is GTA 5 really 10 years old?
Yeah, it's ancient.
GTA 5
came
out for the PlayStation 3.
No way. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
It'll be able to vote in like 8 years.
That's wild. I did not realize it was that old.
Be able to get a job in 4 years?
I know they are working allegedly on GTA 6, but like it's all been leaks. They've not announced anything until I see definitive like announcement from Rockstar about what it is specifically as well. Them going like, oh, turns out it's just like it's all online.
PlayStation 6.
It's all online. No, you can go to hell.
Yeah, that's it.
I got bad news for you, Dom, about games coming out in the next 5 years.
No, it'll be here.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, look, this is absolutely a cheat, but I just really want to
come on, man, it's coming. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it next year. Yep. You watch next year.
I want it now.
Next year they'll announce it. They'll have more to share the year after that.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'd just be happy with a teaser trailer that the internet can then pick and like, oh my god, you see this pixel up in this corner of this? Yeah,
that's a Vice City reference. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, after that, I'm going to make probably the most popular one on this list, which is probably not true for number 10, but mine is going to be Princess Connect Redive. Fucking gacha game. Let's go.
Weep.
You know, I lost so many characters that I rolled for over the course of 2 years, and they're just gone. Right? Is Sarah watching this? The hundreds of dollars that I spent on that game, and they're just gone. There was like this really good honeymoon period where, like, for the first 3 or 4 months, I kept getting the characters really quickly, and it was fantastic. And then there was like some vampire that came out. I didn't get her. I'm like, oh, where's my credit card? Okay, where's my credit card again? And I got her, and I'm like, well, I got to play this game for another 6 months to get my money's worth from what I just spent. And yeah, but then fucking Crunchyroll shut it down, and it's gone. So yeah, we're not.
It's not even that you want the game back; it's that you want your investment back.
Well, no, the characters. Look, it's one of those weird things. It's like a slice of life game, right?
I have to interrupt you there, Jamie. It's not an investment.
No, it's not an investment. No. I didn't sell any accounts. I didn't roll for re-roll accounts or anything, so I didn't make any money off it. I didn't farm content, so it was definitely all money spent in fun. But fuck, I'd like to see it. It was just a fun game. Look, take away the money stuff, take away the ethics. Having a game that you just come in and spend time in every day, it's comforting. It's nice. It's like a bit of cheese toast. Everyone likes cheese toast, right? It's not a hearty meal. It's not a healthy meal, but it's it'll get you through the day.
Look, cheese toast was the best part about going to Sizzlers. So
yeah. See, again, cheap, not worth the money, but it'll fill you up, right? At the moment, I'm trying to replace them with Battleship Girls in Azure Lane, so we'll see how that goes. That game's been going for like 5 years, so it should, fingers crossed, be gone for a little while. But yeah, that's my number 10. We probably don't have to interrogate that one too much more.
That's amazing. I feel like I could fucking say anything now. That's great.
I forgot. I only had 9 on my list until about half an hour ago. I'm like,
shit, I need another one.
I was like 10 down on the Excel spreadsheet, but I forgot that titles are at number 1. So,
all right, my number 10 is one I'm not going to spend too long talking about because I'll be fairly surprised if it doesn't appear again on this list somewhere in someone else's top 10. But I love arcade races. I'd love to see the era of the arcade racer come back. And one of the top arcade racers out there is, of course, not my wallpaper.
Knocks in himself.
Yeah, right.
Cyberpunk racer that I've not heard of.
Let me see if that works. Hey, there we go.
Hey,
Burnout.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see Burnout come back. Burnout was just a ton of fun. It was very approachable. I love that it had not just the racing, but it brought like the carnage into the game.
The takedown system from
the
Burnout
takedowns? Yeah,
is the best.
they were great. That was so good. Was it Burnout 3 that introduced the mode where you basically just careened into a busy intersection and tried to cause as many dollars worth of damage as humanly possible?
Specifically, Burnout 3 takedown.
That was
they
wonderful.
saw. I don't know. Like, did Burnout invent the kill cam, but do it for vehicle crashes?
Oh, it depends if you count Carmageddon, which was like focused on people, but it had like the kill cam that you could use afterwards. I don't know if that's the first, but that was like the first 3D racer I remember that had like a cam afterwards that you could use to view your crashes from different angles.
Well, but like the way that Burnout did it, like in the middle of the race, you've taken someone down and it like zooms in and they're crushing and then it comes back to you and you're racing.
Oh, during the race, yeah, no, it was different.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun anyway. It was a good racer. It was good, silly, dumb fun, and I'd like to see another entry. If it was up to me, I'd like to see it go back to its Burnout 3 system. Like, I know you're a fan, Dom, of the open world racing of Paradise, but I kind of like the jump into a track and just race, and it's kind of done. So if it came back, I'd love to see them go back that route.
I mean, I think it could be relatively easy to do like a combination of that.
Yeah.
And have like,
here's
your progression system, progressions based on the open world, but here's like your fun things to jump into whenever.
Yeah. I just want to jump into a track and race, and I find that's in an arcade racer, that's getting to be a harder and harder experience to find, I think.
Arcade races are getting rarer and rarer.
They are. They really are. It's a bit of a dying genre. And that ability to just chuck a game on, jump in a track, have a race for 3 laps, jump out again. I miss that.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
Technically, Forza Motorsport has that, where you can dial it back down to basically arcade racing, but then you don't have like the fun cheekiness of it. It's still taking itself pretty seriously.
The flashiness, it's still a bit po-faced. So I'd like to see Burnout come back. 2008, by the way, Burnout Paradise came out.
But especially like with the graphics today, like imagine all the crash, like all the bit.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Off.
Yeah, be good stuff. Right. Anyway, Burnout, number 10.
Let's now imagine Dom's number 9 and see what he's got time for us. That doesn't rhyme with 9. Sorry, go on, Dom.
I want you to cast your minds back to the year 1994.
Were you born then?
Legally, yes. I'm just checking later on that. Yeah, look, I did not play this in 1994. I played this out of this came out of a bargain bin at Kmart, but there were a number of games for it, specifically Heavy Gear.
Heavy Gear.
Oh, fuck!
Is that like a ripoff of Metal Gear?
No, it's a ripoff of I'd say probably closer to Armored Core.
Yeah, so it's like 2014, not 2014, 1994. It's a 3D mech game with full motion video cutscenes and all the glory of full motion video cutscene acting as well. But it was actually like, because I played it, I think I played it in like grade 6 or grade 7. So like the computer I had was not that chunky, and it was aware that people were going to be playing on not chunky computers, so it had the ability to go to wireframe mode as well as like textured mode.
Yep.
But it's just good fun. It's a third-person shooter, but you're in mechs and you can drive really fast, and there's a bit of puzzle solving involved. And
so it's not a sim like MechWarrior.
No, it's you are driving a mech yourself.
I mean, that's what you do in MechWarrior, technically.
Well, but you're in the you're in the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember playing this heaps and going back to it, and it's just the story, like it's too generic.
When was the last time you played it?
Oh, it'd be like 8 or 10 years.
Right.
It was a great fucking game, and I got it the same way, Dom. Just a bargain bin grab. It was awesome. I loved Heavy Gear.
Never heard of it.
Like
Yeah,
that, like
see,
it's
that's-
like the air skating, like the movement in the game
Yeah.
was so slick, man. That was so good.
And they had the other they had like land shit. Like it was basically like you're part of like an army. They're all navies, but like so there's big like destroyers, but they're all on land and stuff. And so
Yeah.
they're all floating, and yeah, it like you felt part of like a campaign going out, and like heavy. I don't think many people know about Heavy Gear, but the ones that do had a good time playing it, and I think it's not going to be a multi-million-dollar game if they brought it out again, but they would certainly pick up a bunch of people playing it. And
Oh yeah,
mechs are all the rage these days.
it was the poor man's Armored Core. It was great. I loved it. I thought it was so fun.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, let's move on to something else that no one else will know anything. Well, I suppose Jamie knew about this one, but neither of you guys, I guarantee you, will have any idea what this fucking game is.
Okay.
It is Shadow of Memories.
Oh, no way!
Wait, do you know this game?
No, I've got no idea. What is
Oh,
it?
yeah, okay. Yeah. So, PlayStation 2 game, 2001. Thank you, title screen. That has the copyright info. It was basically it was kind of like a point-and-click adventure, but it was in 3D. So, it was like PlayStation 2 graphics, kind of like Silent Hill level, Silent Hill 3 level graphics. And, like, you had to figure out how the character would survive the day. And like, it was one of those ones where like you make decisions and you die. Okay, I've got to go and figure out some other way to get around like that death. And you had to sort of keep going until you could make it through the entire, was it the day or the week? I'm really hazy on it, but it's a game that was like, holy shit, that was a lot of fun. But because it was a game that you solve and then you're done with it, it's not something that you can really go back to particularly quickly after you play it. It's something to do with alchemy. I remember the Philosopher's Stone being really important, and it's where I learnt the word homunculi. Beating out Full Up Metal Alchemist, so I knew what that was all about before watching that show. But man, it was a good game.
Word homunculi at that age, Sam, in your hands.
Oh, look, at the ripe old age of 17, I think I was fine. Might have even been 18 by the time I played this, because 2001 is probably when it came out in Japan, to be fair. Good old Konami before they just did pachinkos. So.
Man, someone somewhere, there's like a very niche group of people watching Sam's list and just going, yes, you know, and you're making them very, very happy.
There's a couple of niche titles.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I'd never heard of that at all. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I wonder how it holds up, but yeah, it was a good game at the time, that's for sure.
Yeah, cool. All right, something that you absolutely will have heard of. This is number 9's, right? Yes, good. What year was the last time we saw this?
Messing with the numbers is my shtick, James.
2012 was the last time we saw this, which when you think about how much of a titan this was in
Titanfall.
The industry, that's kind of crazy to think about, but it's I think it needs to come back. My number 9 is James Bond.
Yeah.
Now, James Bond, I think it needs to come back, and I think it nemes to come back not as it was. So I've just taken a selection of games here and thrown them up, some classics. I don't know if anyone has played Everything or Nothing, but that was a great fucking game.
Was that
really good?
Was the last James Bond game like just a smattering of James Bond's?
Yeah, it was just a random. It was a cash grab to coincide with the 50th anniversary, basically.
But they had all the Bonds come back and voice acting for it.
Oh, did they? I didn't know that. Look, all I heard was it a shit game. The last actual full production, you know, what I would consider to be a proper game, was actually the GoldenEye remake in 2010. That one came out, where I actually didn't play that, despite GoldenEye being one of my absolute favorite games on the 64. I missed the remake entirely, and they rejiggered a bunch of stuff and changed some things and updated it. It wasn't just a reskinning of that classic game. But I'd love to see James Bond come back. But I'd actually like to see James Bond come back as more of a Hitman style game, where you're presented with an open scenario where you have a mission that you need to accomplish, and at some point things just go fucking batshit haywire. Like, but think of the set.
Oh, you mean like open, right?
Yeah.
Not the seriousness of Hitman, but the openness of it.
Not the seriousness of Hitman. I mean like the actual level design of Hitman, where you are put into a mission in an area, a beautiful big set piece, and you have to accomplish a goal, and how you go about that goal is up to you, and you need to go in, do the thing, and get out again. And at some point, things go crazy, and it turns into this run and gun shooter, right? But I'd love to see James Bond try and take on that formula. I think it'd be really, I think it'd suit the source material really, really well. So probably, I think, better than an FPS.
Not necessarily a movie, like a remake of the movie like GoldenEye, but like
I would like to see them like do what Everything or Nothing did, where it comes up with its own original storyline. Don't try and riff on a movie. Give us like a new story, wholly genuine and original for the game. I don't really want to play through any of the movies again. I think, Everything or Nothing. If you haven't played it, if you can get your hands on it, and the co-op in that game too, it had its own separate co-op campaign, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was a great game, that one. But yeah, James Bond. Also, just while I'm on that topic, right? So I found this while I was searching for images. See the GoldenEye box? I've never seen this before. Have you guys seen this?
Jamie, if you're pointing at your screen, we can't see that.
You can't unsee it, man. Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Oh my God, that cover is ruined for me forever. Look at that.
That's the like the equivalent of the like the Ned Flanders doing the OK sign, but it's like tearing out a chunk of him.
Yeah. That's great. So there you go. I've just completely destroyed the GoldenEye cover for anyone and everyone watching who hasn't seen that before. I'm sure like that's an old meme that's been around for 20 years and I'm just very late to the party, but I thought it was hilarious. That's my number 9.
All right. Fantastic. Well, after number 9, I guess we end up on number 8, don't we?
That's usually how it goes.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
We'll stick with the orthodoxy in this case.
Yeah.
Off you go, Dom.
If you believe the liberal media.
Fake. No. Behave.
Sorry, it's just big microphone in my face. I want to be racist.
I need to go to my soapbox.
My number 8 is
Leak the Discord.
A classic game. So you're both aware that I'm markedly younger than both of you.
No,
yeah, man,
no.
we're very fucking aware.
I can see my midlife crisis up there, whereas it's in the rearview mirror for you guys.
We're in it, man. We are in it. That's why we're doing this fucking channel.
What do you think of cups like this?
So my first like proper gaming was the Super Nintendo, and it was in this bundle. This came in the bundle with it. It's just classic series. DK Country.
Oh wow, yeah, okay. I just played this the other day.
Yeah. So I know that I've looked into all the dates. The last
Done your research.
The very, very last DK game was 2014.
He's very thorough.
Unfortunately, the very, very last DK game in 2014 was on the Wii U, so nobody bought it.
I've got a Wii U if you need it.
Did you buy DK on the Wii U?
No, I didn't. I wasn't really fussed.
I thought the Wii U was a great console. And B, was that Tropical? That was Tropical Freeze, right? Which apparently was a fantastic game. Yeah. Like a really fucking good game.
Yeah, it would have been great if some people could have played it.
Hey, well, you had the option.
Hey, they were selling the Wii U's at EB Games.
Yeah.
If you didn't get the Wii U, that's why it failed.
Before that, the last one that came out on the Wii was 2010. So we're still like the last widely accessible Donkey Kong game.
It's been a minute, yeah.
Has been.
What was 2010?
Was that the one?
I think it was just Donkey Kong Country Returns or something like that. Like it was like
not Donkey Konga.
Well, it was like an homage to the original one.
Donkey Konga, that was it.
But like I think the important thing as well, like the previous games, there was only one 3D game. They have all stayed true to being the side scrolling and mixing the 2D, 3D elements. Plus, I think that's still going to play really, really well. Plus, it's not necessarily limited to the Nintendo anymore. Rare is owned by Microsoft,
That's very true. Yeah.
who owns
but
50%
Donkey
of the
Kong-
video game
But
industry.
Donkey Kong's
is
owned by Nintendo, though.
a Nintendo property. That's
Like, I don't
probably
think
why.
I think Tropical Freeze wasn't done by Rare. It was done by someone else.
Yes.
Ah.
Correct.
Okay, well, still, the Switch is a perfect system for a side scroller.
Switch 2 at this point. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry,
Switch-
I'm
got- you've
salty
got,
about the Switch at the
the
moment.
Nintendo Switch 'em up.
You've got Mario versus Donkey Kong coming out
Switch U.
shortly, don't you?
It's a remake, isn't it?
Does that do your? Does that
No,
hit your
'cause
nipples
it's-
at all? No.
Like
We take a puzzle out
charm
instead of the
about
side scroll.
Donkey Kong Country is it's just it's yeah. Okay,
No,
Donkey
I
Kong
think-
comes off from the island, but like it's just.
I think that's a good pick, Dom. I do. I personally, I can't stand the Donkey Kong Country games, but I know a lot of people really like them, and I think that's a really good pick for a franchise that needs to come back.
To be
100%.
fair, I did not finish it when I was young because I fucking couldn't.
No,
That was a hard game.
they were pretty fucking brutal, man. Yeah.
Now, I
have
finished it when I was a kid, but I did get enough by the
Yeah.
time I'd finished Donkey Kong Country 3 as well. But,
And I finished it in the womb, so it was all good. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that hard.
Nice.
It's hard for some people, I suppose. Yeah.
Definitely
underwater levels where in the womb, you just sort of channel.
Oh, the music, the audio
yeah.
design in that game. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
I saw an interview recently with the dude who did the song for the underwater level, and he didn't realize how much an impact it had. And then he's like, "Oh, like heaps of people really like this random song I made."
Look at this guy. He's got his dates. He's gone and watched interviews for his picks. Like he's
Doesn't know the guy's name or the name of the star.
It's
That's all
he's
right.
got his numbers right.
hang
today.
on.
He's done his homework
it's
today.
Mr. Kong, I believe.
Oh, Funky Kong. It was Funky
Oh,
Kong,
yeah,
was it?
of course.
That was it. Oh, yeah, that's it.
They got the interview in between him running his airline.
Man, not to spoil, but this reminds me that one of the things that should have been on my list was probably Diddy Kong Racing. Like that was
Oh,
fucking, yeah. But that's a distraction.
Yeah.
So
Which
Never
couldn't
mind.
have existed without Donkey Kong Country.
exactly. See, same
And if,
similar
and if they
franchise.
bring it back, then they go straight into kart racing again.
very true.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I guess that segues nicely onto my number 8, which is very similar. Super Mario Maker.
Oh yes, yes, Sam, yes. Preach it, brother. Tell them why.
How the fuck is this a dormant franchise
How
for
It doesn't
Nintendo?
make any sense.
Like, if
When did it come out?
if there was 5 years ago, how old's the Switch?
give or take.
The Switch was like 7 years ago, and it came out like 2 years after the Switch released.
Yeah.
So, like, my issue is that I think it's longer between Mario Maker 2 and its release than it was between 2 and 1 coming out. Like, because 1 came out pretty late in the Wii U, and then Super Mario Maker 2 came out really quickly, relatively speaking, on the Switch. Like, if there was ever a series for live updates and constant support,
Yeah. It makes less than zero
Sorry,
sense.
I'd just like to point out that your problem is that Nintendo don't understand an online service.
they do. They've got fucking Mario Kart 8, which has been going on with online support since fucking the Wii U. And the same with Smash Brothers. Like Mario Kart 8 is still getting wave updates for DLC releases.
Yeah.
Like
And it's
that
still
game has been out
pumping.
for fucking ages. When I remember like everyone going crazy about like Super Mario Maker 2 and like you could select the styles and people were like, look at all the room they left for all these other styles. They're going to bring out new styles.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a Super Mario Brothers 2 style. Maybe we'll get a, oh wow, what could they do? Nothing.
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 Fuck all
They,
is the answer.
they released a Zelda style using the Super Mario 1 pack, which was great, like getting all the bombs and the arrows and these new mechanics you could use. And that was it. Where's the Samus one? You know, where's the
they,
fucking Pokemon one? Oh,
Have they released like another Mario side scroller since
tomorrow.
2? I know they're about to release Wonder.
Oh, you
There's
mean,
been-
have they?
There's been no other like mainline Mario games since this, apart from re-releases.
I do wonder if now that they've got Wonder out the door, they might then look at this again. And go,
But they haven't even talked about it. Like, I don't doubt there will eventually be a third one. Like, I feel like these games have been so popular and they are so evergreen. Like, there are creators out there that still regularly do Mario Maker content, and like it just seems like such a no-brainer for Nintendo to keep Mario in front of everyone's eyes, even when they're not working directly on stuff themselves, and they just don't give a shit. I said this was a positive thing anyway, didn't I? But yeah, Mario Maker 2.
That's a good pick, man. That's
Such a good game.
That's a really good pick. I agree. 100%.
I concur.
Yep, brilliant. All right, so going from one that everyone knows and agrees with to one no one absolutely gives a fuck about, that is going to be, for me, Stronghold.
All right, Dom, your turn.
Yeah, baby, come on.
I remember seeing that game everywhere.
You guys remember
on sale.
Does
I do
anyone
remember
play
it.
this?
Yeah, I didn't play
Look,
it. No.
I've never played this, but from the looks of it, we've got Age of Empires at home.
Oh, to me, I was just looking. I was like, "That's nerd shit."
You're not too far wrong, Dom. Like this. So this is an RTS game. It was sort of billed as a castle building simulator, right? But it was probably more like an RTS than it was a building sim. But what I loved about Stronghold was the how do I put this? You know, in Age of Empires, if you want an archer, you build an archery range.
Hardly know
an archer, right? Hey, there he is. There he is. In Stronghold, you would have to build a woodcutter's hut to go and cut trees down, who would then take the trees back and turn that into planks, and then would take the planks to the castle stockpile and leave them there. And then you would need to build a Fletcher who would go and collect the planks and take the planks back to the Fletchers and turn the planks into bows and then take them to the armory. And then you would need to train one of the peasants that live in your castle town to go and use that bow, and then you would have your archer. Now, take that chain of systems and multiply that by literally everything in the game, and that was Stronghold. It sounds really overwhelming. Sorry,
people love that shit. That's a whole genre now.
Yeah.
Settlement
Like,
Survivor.
it sounds really overwhelming, but it made and it was, I'm making it sound more complicated than it probably is, certainly by today's standards with some management
like a
games
medieval
like
Satisfactory.
shit. It was kind of like a little bit, and
it's like Banished.
It had this beautiful 2D art style that I still think today looks really, really good. The campaign was really fun. You sort of like went conquering territories against 4 different warlords. They each had their own personalities. They would you'd interact with them multiple times throughout the campaign. They all played differently. It was just a fucking great game. And they went on to make a few of these. They actually went on to make a lot of Stronghold games, but I think 2014 was the last entry in the mainline series. There's another one called Stronghold Warlords that came out in 2021. I haven't tried that, but apparently it spins the formula a little bit too much away from, the actual Stronghold, what makes a Stronghold game. But I'd love to see this come back. I think it would be like what they could do with this system now that there are games like Factorio, etc., and the like out there. You
steal
great.
the best of, all the years of development of things like Factorio and Civ
they could do something really special now, I think, with this.
I can't remember the name of the game, but there was a Going Medieval, something like that. There's a one of those settlement survival type games that does focus on like building castles up and stuff, and like you got to build a little village inside and stuff. I'll have to send you a link to what it is, because it was fun what I played from it.
If you like that style of thing, and Stronghold HD is out on Steam and you can buy it, and it's still really fucking good. If you want to, if what I'm describing sounds fun and you like an RTS like I do, Stronghold HD is a fucking really good one. I'd highly
referral code down in the comments.
And spoilers, this will not be the last RTS on my list.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. That's
it.
So are we up to 7 or 6?
Now we're up to 7.
7. Take us to heaven, Dom. I mean, like in a family-friendly way, because it's YouTube.
If I had $1 for every time I heard Sam tell Dom that,
it's not going camping with us, is he?
You've got to cover over your cameras when. Anyway. My number 7. We've talked about this briefly, and when I say I'd like to see this resurrected, I'd like to see this resurrected properly, not as just a massive cash grab.
I love cash grabs.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh,
yeah, no, that's a good one. No, I agree.
Yes.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
That's a fucking great pick, actually. That's a really, really good pick.
The last real to Roller Coaster Tycoon that came out, because the new one fucking does not count.
3 was alright.
2000. Yeah, this is talking about 3. Came out in 2004.
Were you born? That's a good joke.
Only just.
Get a lot of mileage out of that. That's when I had my first wife. Got divorced the following year.
2004, I was in grade 10. So
I was out there getting laid, son.
I wasn't. I was at home playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. If they brought this franchise back, like they'd have to do a lot of work to make up for the damage that they've done. But if they did a good job, they absolutely have competition with Planet Coaster. But if they do a good job, that's only going to spur both on to better things. They steal from each other, or they try and one up each other. Like, games that just kind of let themselves to themselves can fall by the wayside sometimes. And if they brought Roller Coaster Tycoon back, and honestly, I think they do really, really well not to bring it back as a 3D, but to go back to an isometric.
Oh, yeah. I miss that shit so much.
I actually find, like those 3D park builder games just don't hit the same.
No,
like I want a grid. I want restrictions that I have to work within, not like full freedom that I'm like, well, shit, what do I do? I want to be like, okay, how many pixels can I do for this?
The pieces together, right?
So I love Factorio.
Have a mix of it. The build mode is isometric, but then you can still walk around in 3D as a
hit tab, and you've got like a free camera mode. That would be cool.
Or ride the roller coaster.
That was such a big sales pitch for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. The fact that you could like go and ride the rides.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That is a fucking great pick. Dom, if you listen really closely, you can hear our buddy Scott cheering your fucking name. Like, that's an amazing choice. Good pick.
All right.
Follow that, Sam.
Okay. You dare me to? You fucking dare me to follow that?
I double dare you.
Fight.
Yeah.
Fight.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, kind of touching base on your wanting arcade races. I miss arcade style games. And I don't mean like single screen, like limited lives. I mean games that are like, who gives a shit about the immersion? This is a game, and we're just going to do something for fun, go and like clear a path for a fucking missile before it blows up and try and get as many points as possible. Man, I booted this up recently on my...
going back to the missions and stages to clear.
Yeah, like level 1, level 2, level 3, like that structure. Like so many games are just like, no, we want immersion. We want people to feel like they're there. We want people to feel like, shit, I need to go to the bathroom in this game. Otherwise my character's going to get a debuff. No. Just give me a fucking game where I just have to brain off, action, finish the level, move on. Just like you're saying with like Burnout, going back to Burnout 3 style.
They're called mobile games.
And I love them too, but I want to sit down and play at a computer.
One game kind of series that does do the arcadey thing is like Overcooked and moving out and that kind of thing.
I want something that's
I know
that's too arcadey, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Like I think the best recent example of this is Devil May Cry 5. Because it's still a bombastic, over-the-top game, but it's levels, it's points, it's collecting, it's collecting the blood crystals, and it's upgrading your abilities. Like, I just miss that to a certain extent. Yeah, exactly. And same with Blast Corps. It's about getting as many points as you can, about having fun, about doing silly things, and it doesn't punish you for that because it's just a level. Who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, we need more of it. And it was such a cool idea. I'm just surprised Nintendo haven't done anything else with it. Well, I guess it's rare, so...
Pardon the pun, Blast from the Past. Holy shit. I haven't even thought about Blast Corps first.
And you're like, follow that. And I'm like, bitch, I'll follow that.
Wild.
Maybe crap. Now that Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, King, Burger King, FedEx exist, maybe they can get rid of some of the developers they're not using anymore, like Rare.
Shed them off.
Yeah.
Boy.
Keep dreaming, Dobby. Keep dreaming. All right. I'm going to flash my next pick up, right? And I'm not going to even say what it is, but I want you to think about this being reimagined as a survival horror in like a kind of Far Cry-esque style open world game. You ready?
Oh, my man. No, go.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. How fucking cool would a Turok game in the style of Far Cry be?
Isn't
would
that
be amazing? Now, there is a
Isn't that
game.
Rust?
Horizon?
Yeah. Well, no, but I'm not talking about like some big story campaign thing. I mean, drop you on an island on your own with nothing,
Wait, that's
infested with
Ark.
dinosaurs. Yeah, like Ark, but without all the Minecraft shit, right? Get
Without the survival
Minecraft
stuff.
shit out of it and just amp up the survival horror. That would be an amazing game.
Mm.
So the last Turok game, like in the main series, came out in 2003, gentlemen, 2003. But they did try and reboot it, kind of similar to what I'm describing in 2008. A reboot came out just called Turok.
I do
But
vaguely remember
apparently
that.
it was not great. It was not
I remember
a
that
great
too.
game. I would love to see someone take another shot at this franchise exactly the way I just described it. That would be
So did you say
phenomenal.
it came out in 2008?
The reboot, I think, did, yes.
Yeah.
Like an Xbox
Is,
game, right?
Yeah.
Acclaim filed for bankruptcy in 2004, and
Yeah.
all of its IPs were auctioned off. So
Yes. So
That's
the
why-
chances of us getting this is slim to none. But I can dream, a boy can dream, Dom. If you can dream about Roller Coaster Tycoon, God damn it.
no,
My
I'm
overworld
I'm
survival horror Turok.
I'm all aboard the train to crazy mystical imagination land. I'm just saying that's why the 2000.
But this is just a step too far, Jim.
that's why the 2001
Turok.
failed.
But
because
Turok.
They're like, oh,
What are you,
well,
mad?
We've got this IP. Oh, we should probably do something with it.
Yeah.
After
old
Duke Nukem.
Yeah. So that's my number 7. I'd love to see that come back. And in that particular way, it'd be incredible.
Fucking Dilophosaurs. All right.
Oh, think about it.
Time to get our kicks, Dom.
Hang on.
Tom.
Hang on. Wait, you stop. I suppose the difference between Ark is Ark you get more and more powerful. But if you're making it a survival Turok, like you're constantly like, on the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be
Yeah.
amazing. It'd
I'm
be
down for
so good. Yep.
Just see if there's a Far Cry mod with dinosaurs, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm going to do it straight after we're done here.
Skyrim. There's always a mod in Skyrim to do something.
Someone,
You can't even escape-
someone will have made the Turok mod for Skyrim for sure.
You can't even escape by climbing up the radio towers because they've got flying dinosaurs.
Number 6, Sammy, take us away, man.
I'm going to wait till Dom gives me permission. You told me to stop.
Sorry.
You can
Nah,
go.
fuck you. I'm doing it.
Too bad I gave you permission anyway. It's clear that Jamie is not as big a racing fan as I am, because this was lower on.
Hey, there we go. I knew it. I would
Which
have
means Dom's beat him.
I would have cried foul if this was not on your list, Dom. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, this needs to come back just because it's just
Take me
fun.
down to the
They don't-
Paradise
It's
City.
just fun.
They don't worry about licensing or like, and that makes it easier for them because they don't have to
Isn't that how you level up?
have manufacturers bitch and moan about, oh, our car's getting damaged or anything like that. No, it's just essentially, you know what? The closest thing to this currently is probably Hot Wheels Unleashed. Because it's like, okay, it's got some licensed cars, but it's also got cars that are just like whatever.
Would I like that, Dom? Should I try that?
Hot Wheels Unleashed has the potential there, but it's way more focused on racing than Burnout is. And the thing,
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's because that's what I like.
Yeah.
So maybe I should give that a go.
I think
sorry,
you probably
cut
should.
off.
Like the best thing about Burnout was that you had multiple ways to play it. If you wanted to just race, you just race. But if you wanted to race and kind of nudge people into other cars and stuff, you
Yeah.
do that as well.
Nudge.
Yeah. Nudge,
Nudge.
yeah. By accident.
Guide to the curb.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Escort off.
Yeah, I've spoke about it earlier, but yeah, Burnout needs to come back.
Yep.
There's no reason why it shouldn't, especially given how well Hot Wheels Unleashed has done. Forza's done really, really well. Like they've got that IP sitting there.
Just do it.
They've remastered it, and the remaster sold really, really well.
Yeah.
Burnout 2008.
Yeah.
Burnout Paradise
Isn't that
came out.
crazy? Yep.
I think I've got it on my
arcade
Xbox
racing genre,
downloaded from
bring it back.
Game Pass.
I want more arcade races.
Yeah.
Right. So unintentionally, I think one of our big pieces of feedback at the moment is we need more games from Rare. seems to be the go.
Hey!
Whoa,
Hey! Whoa! Hey! Whoa!
I don't remember that game.
Whoa. Sorry, I was trying to fix the stream because we lost the logo from the screen when I switched screens.
Oh, we did too. That's right. I'm sure people know where we are.
Banjo-Kazooie. I fucking love this game. I played it so much on the 64. The first game in particular as well. I had a perfect save. Every note, every jiggy. Can we say? Yeah. Every one of those bird things, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was such a fun game. And I know we have that, what's that chameleon game called? Ukulele? I've never played it. I don't want to play it. No, to me, part of it's not just the collectathon, right? It's the characters. And they're just iconic, and they just, nuts and bolts wasn't the right fit for them. I don't know if a revival would work. I don't know if it would age well, but I miss it, and I wish it was relevant.
Ratchet and Clank came out on the PS5.
Who cares about that? I told you it's about the characters.
But it's the it's the same kind of concept of like buddy.
Yeah, but that's not
a character game.
If you didn't
the Ratchet and Clank, the third person shooter sort of flavoring it has isn't my preference. I prefer the jump. Like Mario, Banjo-Kazooie, that's what I like. When you start to mix in the action elements, it becomes a bit too Call of Duty dude bro for me.
I'm just saying that I think this could and should come back. I'm saying the market's there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. Yes. Yeah. And I agree. I think that would sell like crazy. Why do you think that hasn't come back?
Well, Rare clearly have like abandoned old properties and old ideas. I don't know if that's just what Microsoft have been trying to do to, like, they obviously bought Rare ages ago, and like they seem to be trying to focus on the sort of more mature edginess for Xbox for a while. I know they're trying to maybe stop that a little bit these days, but I think it's too late. Like, I think Rare lost their magic, lost their I don't know. Where's Diddy Kong Racing?
Game Rare put out with Sea of Thieves.
Oh Christ! Okay.
I mean, there's fun to be had in that game potentially, and like that did have the Monkey Island thing.
Is it?
No.
Yeah. Did you like Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie more?
I like them both pretty equally. Like, to me, Banjo-Tooie was just more of the same thing I loved. Like, I know a lot of people sort of had the feeling that Banjo-Tooie was too grindy in the collectibles. I didn't come across that myself. Like, I still loved it. It was such a big, open, beautiful game that it was just fun for me to run around in until I turned into a washing machine at one point.
And especially like the era that it came out in as well, you know?
Oh, yeah. I remember playing and like, what was I? I was like, that stupid witch. And one of my, I was at a friend's house and the mother thought I was saying bitch. I was getting really upset.
Sure.
And man, the game over screen from Banjo-Kazooie, oh my God, like that witch deserved to win. Right? You don't remember the game over screen?
No.
The whole Banjo-Kazooie, the witch, I forget the witch's name. Like, the whole thing is she's she's kidnapped Banjo's little sister to steal her youth. Yep. And so on the game over screen, she is like Jessica Rabbit level. Oh. Because she has stolen the youth of, it's amazing. Such a good,
Nice.
A whole bunch of things falling into place.
Wow.
Hey, I'm a complex person, and the person I am now is based on who I was as a child. So.
All right, my number 6. My number 6 is it's only a single game.
Gruntilda.
This is not a multi-game franchise. This only was a single game, but that single game was around for a while and played actively for a while and very well loved. I never played it myself. I missed it. But I'd love for it to come back. But I've also got some interesting trivia about why I think it should come back. My number 6 is City of Heroes.
Ah, nice.
I'd love to see this get another shot, right? Because here's what's interesting about City of Heroes. City of Heroes closed down in 2012. What movie came out in 2012 that pretty much catapulted the superhero genre into the stratosphere?
Well, you're wrong, because it was Iron Man in 2008 that catapulted.
Yeah, that took it off, but the first Avengers...
Avengers was 2012, yeah.
The first Avengers also came out in 2012.
Was this an MMO that you created your own?
Yes.
Superhero.
Yes.
Yep.
Correct. Now, this and I think DC put one out. I can't
DC
remember.
Online. Yeah,
That's it,
DCU.
DCU Online. I played DCU Online. That was a really fun game, actually. I played that with Scott. And we had a really good time playing that. But I missed, because I was playing that, I didn't play City of Heroes. I kind of wish this would come back so we could go into that sort of like wholly original universe that's not based on DC or not based on Marvel or not based on this or that or whatever.
Private servers.
Yeah, right. Look,
You can play it.
I want
would
to see him
like
take
to
another
see all
shot at
the-
it though, because I think
all
it had
the-
some issues, right?
Oh, and they kept developing it. So they actually, on the private server, they introduced powers that weren't finished by the original devs, and they've started
Nice.
actually putting in their own new powers. So they're actually, I don't know if it's still now, like this was a couple of years ago, I knew about it,
Yeah.
but they continue to develop the game after they got the source code,
That's
which is really cool.
I just
That is really
want
cool.
to see all the janky ways that people make. Like, oh look, it's Spider-Man and Iron
Spider
Man.
Guy.
I like because you could like modify how your powers looked as well. So like you'd still be picking from like a palette of like balanced powers, but then you could like change how they actually looked. And it was such a. I never played it either, but I should have. I played it very briefly.
That's my attitude. I never played it, but I should have. And if it came back, I think they'd be able to do a smooth it out. The superhero, genre, for lack of a better word, is everywhere. I feel like it kind of closed right when it could have picked up and gone crazy.
I think this would probably do well as a free to play.
Yeah,
but only like because just making money off cosmetics.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I think that's how DCUO and Champions Online, if that's still going, that's pretty much how they operate at the moment. So
anyway, that's my number 6, City of Heroes.
Number 6, fully 6.
Fully 6. Right.
All right, Dom, look alive. You're on number 5.
Hey.
I said look alive.
Dom,
Dead air. Fill it.
5.
Do you remember? Because I know you're both old and your memory's failing you.
Yep.
Oh,
Do you remember video game arcades?
I don't remember what a video game is.
What's an arcade? Isn't that where there's a bunch of shops that sell chocolates and like old hats and stuff?
Yeah.
Hey, who's this kid on our stream and where'd he come from?
That's where they don't pay the workers and they go on strike. One of my favorite things that came out of the arcades was home-based versions of the arcade games.
It was games at home.
Yeah.
It's fuck going to the arcades.
Oh, but just because you're like, I get to play.
It's going to be Double Dragon. Should I guess? I should guess.
This is Double Dragon, Dom. I love you.
Not Double Dragon.
He's too young. He's too young for Double Dragon. Time Crisis.
Oh,
Man.
okay. Look, that was also really, really good. This is another
Shooter
game.
games.
This is another game I literally just played very recently at an arcade.
Yeah. So they had Time Crisis 5 that's come out in the arcades, but it's never been released for home consoles. So the last game that was released for home consoles was Time Crisis 4 in
It was on PlayStation 2, wasn't it?
No, it was on the PS3.
It was on the
Was it?
PS1. Oh, sorry.
Came out with
No, the most recent one. Yeah.
The most
came out
recent
with the
one.
blue gun. But you know what? At the very least, Sony and PCs have readily accessible these days. VR.
Oh, there you go.
Need to ship. Yeah, you don't need to ship a gun accessory anymore. You just make it
Time
VR.
Crisis VR.
Time Crisis
Dom.
VR.
Why does that not exist already? Wow.
Like, it's
Because even if
already-
it did exist. Anyway, sorry, I'm distracting.
It's already a shooter
Warhammer
on
and VR.
rail, so you're not having
true.
to move around. It's less likely to make people motion sickness. Like,
Hey, if you get motion sick, get good.
that's my problem with shooters on time in VR. Is like you're having to focus on.
Do you get motion sick?
No, but
I do.
Oh, okay.
moving
Do-
around as well as trying to shoot, and like you can't just walk around because then you're gonna run into a fucking wall.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Oh, man, you need a Quest 3, my friend.
but in Time Crisis, you've only got like this little area, and you like. Can you imagine you yourself popping down undercover and then back up instead of pushing the pedal?
Sounds
And then-
exhausting.
Okay,
I can imagine that because I've got a Quest 3.
But yes, that I agree, Dom. That would be
Sorry,
fucking
I think-
rad. Can you
Yeah.
imagine like it's called Time Crisis Home Invasion or something?
Mixed reality would be really cool for that. And there's a few games that do that already. Like there's a zombie invasion mixed reality game where you like tell your headset where the door and the windows are and zombie. Anyway, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Did you guys ever play this on the PS1, the original PlayStation?
Played it on the PS2.
And wherever you played it, did you ever like with the light gun, like lay down on your living room floor like a fucking military sniper and like shoot that way? Did you guys ever do that?
Yeah,
sideways.
Come on.
Thanks to Time Crisis, I already knew how to do the high thumbs grip when we've got a gun because the button was on the side of the gun. So
because that was like your reload and your hard button. It sucks that like consoles stop doing that sort of cool stuff. Like the closest you get is like the Wii and the Switch with their silly little plastic things. But nothing's quite as good as a zapper.
Sort it out, Namco. The time is right. The tech is there. Get on board.
Time Crisis VR. Yep.
Or even just put it on mobile. Microtransactions. Move your phone around.
You can fuck right off.
How bad you want it, Dom? How bad you want it?
All right. Speaking of genres or franchises that have been hard done by greedy companies, Silent Hill.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I thought you would have this on your list.
I miss it. I really miss it. PT would have been one of the greatest games ever, and now we don't have it, and now it's gone
forever.
I don't know what else to say about it. Honestly, like it sucks. It's such an iconic series, and it was right up there with Resident Evil for the longest time.
Yep.
And I don't want to be like xenophobic, but the moment they handed it to the American studios, like I think what really like was misunderstood when it was handed from the Japanese team to the American team was like Silent Hill was always the Japanese view of American horror. And so when you take that concept and give it to American people to then interpret a Japanese interpretation of American horror, of course, it's not going to be the same. Like
it doesn't translate.
The soul is just like not there because it's the unique twist, the unique point of view that Team Silent had in the original 4. And like I know the Room is not always well received by everyone, but I love The Room myself. It was a sort of game back in the day that I'll take the disc over to my friend's house and we'd sit down and we'd play through it together because like these games were, even for me, they were stressful to play. Like I don't like playing Silent Hill games by myself, but I love playing them with people and you sort of hand the controller back and forth. So neither of you get too stressed out by the, nihilistic terror.
Just as an aside, that is a fucking great way to play video games, full stop, that I feel like is dying. We just don't
dead.
see.
It's gone.
Yeah. Well, not for me. It's not. God damn it! Like that is if you got a significant other or a really good friend, get yourself a really great single player experience like Silent Hill and experience that together and share the experience, even though it's only a 1-player game. You won't regret it.
The Last of Us. Kelsey loved just watching me play The Last of Us.
Yeah,
I have to say that's how I played Persona 5.
I would almost say it's my favorite way to play video games.
Socially with people.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
Gross, right? Yuck.
Yeah.
Yucky.
All right,
I'm surprised this is your number 5, actually, Sam. I can't wait to see what the 4 above. I thought this would be like top tier 1 or 2 for you.
No, it's pretty obvious why the others are above it.
Okay. All right. Interesting. I'll have to wait and see. All right.
I can show you now if you want. We can just fuck up the formula.
Yeah, why not? Okay. Go rogue. My number 5 is my other RTS entry, and this was one of the first RTSs I ever played, actually, and fell in love with because not just because of the strategy genre that I really enjoyed at the time, but just because this one's very not quite. This one had a very unique tongue-in-cheek style.
Stop touching me.
And that's Red Alert. Yeah. Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Shit, what's the Nod guy's name?
The Business. What was what?
This is the one with Nod, right?
Yeah, I think. I think so. From memory.
Oh God, you're the one that wants it resurrected. You should know this.
I do. I can't remember like the faction names or anything.
Brotherhood of Nod and something else. Yeah.
Anyway, so good.
Bald guy in the FMVs.
And the German shepherds that were just absolutely fucking terrifying. That would just one-shot anything and everything that they got near. Tanya, if you had a Tanya, holy crap.
I vaguely remember that being scary.
it just didn't take itself too seriously. And as the series went on through number 2 and number 3, it took itself less seriously and less seriously. Red Alert 2 was the one I poured the most hours into by far. I loved Red Alert 2.
Just from memory, Red Alert was the one that
had the red alert going.
No, that was Tim, what's his face, in the FMV, wasn't it?
Oh,
Nigel Thornberry going, space!
I don't know, actually. I don't remember. I remember the bald dude as Kane.
Kane, that's it.
Yeah. Was that him?
Tim Curry.
Oh, Tim Curry.
Was it Tim Curry that was in the FMVs for Red Alert? I don't remember. Or was that just regular old Command and Conquer?
I'm not sure. Hang on, I'm just having a look.
He's having a look. He's doing more research. The research man. Anyway, Red Alert.
Nerd.
No, it was just Red Alert. Not. Red Alert 3.
Oh, it was Red Alert 3. Well, Red Alert 3 came out in 2008, and then it was that's it.
Or maybe it wasn't Red Alert 3. Sorry.
Was that Tiberium's son? Because I remember working at Harvey Norman around that time.
No, it was Red Alert 3. Like, I'm going to the one play. Hang on, let's see if I can play it over there.
Yeah.
Hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space.
Yeah. Now, interesting. I've actually
and he's the bad anyway.
I've never played Red Alert 3. I've only played 1 and 2. I never got 3. I need.
So you're the reason it's dead.
Find it and play it sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometime. But
they had
back.
one more sale they needed to make to break even.
Yeah, that's it. They're sitting there biting their nails, watching the numbers. Just one more. Come on.
Hey, every vote counts, right? This is democracy.
Yep. I fucked it. I fucked it for everyone. I'm so sorry. Anyway, Red Alert, bring it back. I love it. I'd love to see it come back. It's just so good. It's so.
You know what? Bring
it's
back
over the
FMVs.
top, wacky, crazy, Nikolai Tesla, bonkers. It's awesome.
Bring back.
Oh, there's some
FMVs
Japanese
in
games I can show
general
you.
as well.
What was that, Dom? Sorry.
Bring back FMVs in general as well.
Yeah.
Well, fucking
How many
Hollywood's going
nights
the
is
other
FMV?
way, though, right? Like even movies are looking at getting rid of anyway. Dom, would you like to give us some more with your number 4?
Is this going to be it for the top? Yes, this is a thing now, is it?
He's just not going to have it right.
I mean, I've been practicing since number 10.
All right. So I'm just going to put it up there.
Oh, come on, I'm blind.
Oh,
Sorry.
wow.
There you go.
Hey.
Unreal Tournament. Yep.
Unreal Tournament.
The arena shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not
Shooter.
not just specifically the Unreal Tournament, but the vibe of it.
Yeah.
And like CS2 has just come out, but like it's you want the kind of crazy.
It's not an arena shooter. It's a, it's a mill sim almost.
Was Unreal Tournament 3? Would that be the last arena shooter? Do you think?
Was 2004 after 3?
The last Unreal Tournament game that came out was in 2007.
Okay.
2007. Yeah.
They were working on another full game, and they abandoned work on it. Can you guess why?
Because of some, I don't know, was it Unity?
Who owns Unreal?
Unreal Engine, yeah. That was a joke. Unity's the competing engine.
Yeah, no. But who? What's the company that owns Unreal?
I don't know. What company does own Unreal?
Epic.
Ah, okay.
What other gigantic game does
right.
Epic make all of their money from now?
Okay. Fucking Fortnite.
So they abandoned it due to changing focus to Fortnite. So
Really? I thought they had already abandoned it because they were focusing on selling the engine rather than the game.
no, well, because they had an alpha version come out for it.
Like they were still working on the game, but they'd already pretty much like hollowed out. Anyway, that's
That's another.
I'll defer to the
genre.
researcher.
Another genre like the RTS that just has gone.
Yeah.
The arena shooter, and I do miss them.
Yeah, but the arena. See, the RTS I can understand why, right? Because the MOBA does everything that an RTS. No. Okay, there's some good YouTube. No, there's some good YouTube videos out there where like the RTS, the ceiling to learn it is too high. You need to learn too many things to play competently against someone else that knows how to play. So if I was to play Gary at StarCraft, I have no chance, right? I would need to sit there and practice and practice and practice and learn to be able to have fun playing that game. Because a MOBA, I just have to learn Ari. I just have to learn one character. I have to learn one build, and I can play and have a much better chance at beating a good player.
That analogy doesn't translate at all. That's fucking bollocks.
So you saying it is harder to learn how to play one character in a MOBA than it is to learn how to play one faction in an RTS?
Yeah.
Because you've also got to learn the map. Because remember, most MOBAs only have one map. Most RTSs have a bunch of maps. So you got to learn all those maps as well.
You do need to learn the maps for an RTS, to be honest.
Of course you do, because you need to know where the minerals are. You need to know the best attack patterns, where the choke points are.
The skill ceiling that you require in a MOBA to be good and compete with other people who are good and competitive is beyond the common man, right? Yeah.
Remember, compete is different from have fun, though.
And also, if I want to play a MOBA, I have no
at
choice but to jump into that pond. If I want to play an RTS, I want to just jump on some Age of Empires and play against the computer. I can.
Hey, look, go leave a comment on that video, all right? I'm not gonna.
I'll find them.
So why I want Unreal to come back is like.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're talking about Unreal.
just easy to jump into, but
sorry, Dom, go on.
Bots as well. Like,
yes, bots.
Like if you picked up Unreal and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough to play online, play the bots for a bunch.
Play the bots. Unlike a MOBA.
The first thing I did in Unreal was download a Mega Man X skin.
Nice.
And also like the VFs from Macross as well. And like when you jumped, they would half transform into their hybrid mode. It was so cool.
Yeah.
If like Dom and you enjoy a good arena shooter, I've been playing one called Splitgate recently, and it is a lot of fun. Really good. I don't know of any other arena shooter that's come out in the last decade, but that's a good one you can check out. Bring it back.
They're all hero.
The first of a resurgence.
They're all hero shooters now.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great pick, Dom.
The newer Unreal, they started working on it. It went to alpha, and they released it in alpha, and then just left it at the alpha. And they actually shut the servers down in January this year.
Oh right. Wow.
Fucking online games, though.
Also, just to be 100% clear, Jamie is not having
I'm not having.
seizure.
Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
He's just very sleepy. Having a sleep.
That's interesting.
But he is still here. We'll
figure something out.
realign the satellite.
We'll see if it refreshes when I change scene.
Yep.
All right, Jamie. Another game that you've never heard of. Well, maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. All right, what did we? Number 4, right? Number 4 for me, Vagrant Story. Could you believe it? Vagrant Sam wishes there was more. Vagrant Story. This game, Square Enix game, it was a game that I purchased at Civic Video because it was $80. And I was like, oh, Square Enix, I like Final Fantasy games. And I just bought it, not knowing anything about it apart from what was on the box. And man, was it a good game. It was a fucking fantastic game. And it was a game that took place inside an area, like a labyrinth for the entire game. And there was like purely character driven interactions with characters that you'd come across throughout the story. I don't even remember much of the story apart from like there's something about a tattoo on someone's back that you had to get off someone's back because it had been taken off. Like it was really, not obscure, but really, I don't know. It was just compelling, really, really compelling. And like the end of the game, you get out of the labyrinth and like you have this brief shot of the outside world and the city that the labyrinth was under. And like, man, it would have been great to see a game that expanded into the city and like kept expanding that word out. Like the end of what, sorry?
Like the end of Portal.
Like the end of Portal, yeah. Except instead of Portal 2 being back inside with like some British person. Like there was just so much more to that world that would have been like it could have been a franchise. It could have really been something compelling that could have like expanded on itself until it inevitably jumped the shark and became ridiculous. But the journey there would have been really fun.
And so hints to such a bigger world, like they had to make decisions about the other world that weren't necessarily exposed to you yet, but you could like sense.
And instead, we got Kingdom Hearts, which I mean, some people will like that.
Yeah.
It was good up to Kingdom Hearts 2, but yeah.
Yeah, it was good up until it left the PlayStation 2.
Oh god, when you had to play like Dream Drop Just Distance and 365 plus 2 days and shit on the anyway. Yeah, Vagrant Story. Not much else to say about that, but man, it was a good game. Looks fantastic too. They use speech bubbles like a comic, which in PlayStation 2 wasn't common to have like that really stylized presentation in these games.
Hey, speaking of looks really good.
Thank you.
Jamie's face.
Hey, what was it?
Number 4.
I can't replicate it. Number 4, yes. My number 4 is Dawn of War. Man,
that was the last good RTS, eh?
We had some fun with this one, didn't we? No, I don't think so. Because I think Company of Heroes came after Dawn of War.
No, I didn't play Company of Heroes.
It was excellent. It was a better game, I think. But Dawn of War, this is a game that sort of it's had a bit of identity crisis over the years, hasn't it? It started out as a really good, new, different RTS. Like it did something that no other RTS was really doing or had done when it first came out, with its sort of capturing the checkpoint system across the map. That was wholly new. And then it sort of tried to, in Dawn of War 2, what it sort of blend a little bit of like RPG-esque light elements into things.
I didn't stick with it after Dawn of War 1 because of the changes.
Yeah, and then Dawn of War 3, I feel like Dawn of War 3, I didn't play number 3, but I didn't hear great things about it.
It was very mixed reception.
Yeah, it was starting to crumble by then. I think the reason I'd like to see Dawn of War come back is because I actually don't feel like 1, 2, or 3 have nailed the 40K aesthetic. I've really nailed the feel and the vibe of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. When you look at not enough skulls. When you look at a game like Space Marine 2 that's coming out, visually, I don't know about gameplay or anything, but visually, Space Marine 2 has pretty much fucking nailed it, I think, in terms of aesthetic. I'd love to see Dawn of War take another crack at it with that kind of, for lack of a better word, grim dark look, right? That vibe, get really dirty. Like Dawn of War was a really colorful game, a really cartoony, colorful, like everything was chunky and bright and it was fun. It was a hell of a lot of fun, but it looked like you were playing with really brightly painted models. It didn't feel like you were playing in the Warhammer 40,000 universe.
Well,
I didn't think it never
it would have been at like the cusp of like the 90s Games Workshop, where you did have the really sort of bright like goblin green bases.
That's true.
With the ultramarine blue and stuff.
You know the black and white pencil sketch drawings of like the Warhammer 40K art that you find in the rule books, right? Like especially like the 4th edition rule books back then. That it's that gritty kind of look and style. I'd love to see Dawn of War bring a new entry into the series. So yeah, that'd be my pick.
I definitely like them to do it with a canon chapter though. Like I feel like it was a shame in some ways that they used a custom chapter. But I can understand why they would, because in a custom chapter, everyone's equally unhappy, as opposed to if it was like Ultramarines. Everyone's like, well, what the fuck? The Ultramarines are so boring, or if it's a space. But
or run a campaign where you play multiple different chapters throughout the campaign, or something like that. But it's more the look and feel. I think they need to take another swing at it, And I think, because I don't think they ever really nailed it. And I think if they tried now with the tech that's available now, I think they'd have a pretty good chance of really, like when you look at something like Diablo 4, for example, and that kind of aesthetic, imagine that 40K-ized. I think it'd be great. Anyway,
man, wait till you try Battle Sister when we're at Bunya Mountains, man.
Oh, nice,
like,
okay.
3D VR in like 40K universe with rhinos driving past and shit. It's crazy. Yeah. Not going to say it's perfect, but man, fuck.
Looking forward to it.
All right.
Go on.
We're down to the big swingers, aren't we? Number 3. Yep. Number 3. Dom,
here we go.
When you tell us, make sure it's free. I don't know.
No, I'm not saying another word until I receive the payment as agreed on.
Okay, well, say it in such a way that we all can see your point of view for number 3. Number 3.
Top 3. These are the big ones.
Dom is going to give us number 3.
this is a same kind of vein of like needing a bit more competition, and there's no reason why this shouldn't still be out and shouldn't be revisited again.
Oh, fucking hell, man. Come on.
I agree. Like I think we
Really?
need rhythm games. Like Japan is the only one holding down the rhythm game genre.
So the last Guitar Hero game came out in 2015, and
The one before that was 2015, and the one before that was late 2014.
But they did not do well. You know what other game came out in 2015? Rock Band 4.
Rock Band 4.
And Rock Band 4 is still supported. They still have new songs being released for it. And I think the real difference is that...
Well, there you go. Just play that.
Rock Band 4 actually like put some effort into it. They made the deal with Mad Catz. They re-released peripherals. Trying to get peripherals these days is hard because they're all 20-year-old pieces of plastic that have got battery acid rotted inside if they haven't been looked after. Like, there's a whole new wave of people that have never played a rhythm game. And especially now that the tech's there, that you can, you know, when Rock Band and Guitar Hero World Tour first came out, you know, with the drums and bass and singing, you had to have everybody in the same room. The tech's there now to play with friends online and all contribute. Like they've worked out that like it works for Rock Band 4. So Rock Band 4 came out in 2015, and then they did like an expansion for it in 2019, I think, Rivals, which is when they introduced the online system.
Clone Hero, man. It's on Steam.
Yeah, but it's not on PlayStation and Xbox.
You've got a computer.
It's ripe for a revisiting because the market's clearly there. They're just seeding it to Rock Band, and it's only going to spurn more competition.
It's because they spend $1 on Guitar Hero, they'll only make $5, whereas they could spend $1 on Call of Duty and they could make $20.
Well, I mean, now Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, King, Walmart, Target, you know,
Disney.
Maybe this is an opportunity for Microsoft to go like, hey, like maybe we, you know, in our multitude of fucking business partnerships that we own, maybe there's a peripheral manufacturer in there as well.
No. You don't want this. You don't want this. What you want is you want to play as Lilith in Call of Duty. That's what you really want.
It seems like, you know, the kind of game that would play right into their fucking riddle it with microtransactions mindset too, right?
But at least you feel like Rock Band has a massive music store where you can buy songs, but you're getting the song. Like it's like $2 or $3 for a song, and you're like, oh yeah, that's how much I would pay for a song back before Spotify was like a massive thing. Like, and then you get, but also you get the feeling of you're playing your favorite song, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm just playing a little plastic, but like it feels fucking cool. Like I'm managing to play Foo Fighters. Like this
make
is
sure
really cool.
all the curtains are open. Make sure the neighbors can see me. Turn it
Just
right
wearing your
up.
boxes.
Yep.
But yeah,
Boxes and shocks.
Yeah.
This one's going out to you, Mavis. Across the road.
Yeah, no. Bring back Guitar Hero, because if
Judy
Rock
Nails.
Band,
She was a hottie.
look, if Rock Band can do it, why can't you, Guitar Hero? Sort your life out.
All right. Okay. Number three for me. I'm older than Dom, so obviously my number 3 is going to be older than Dom's number 3. And again,
Well,
a throwback to the last list. Yeah, it might be actually Breath of Fire 2. It'd be close. Something in the 90s.
That looks like it says Breath of Fire.
No, you're incorrect. That's just what text looked like back in those days.
No, he's not. He's not wrong. Breath of Fire. Holy shit.
Oh, well. the A is a bit compressed, right? Maybe they didn't have kerning. Maybe they didn't have kerning back then.
Jamie's ruined GoldenEye. I've now ruined Breath of Fire.
That's it. Breath of Fire. It's like the cheap knockoff. This is when you buy in the bargain bin at the cheap shop. Breath of Fire, right next to the spider guy.
I don't know what else to say. I just like RPGs like this, and it feels like a lot of the RPGs or JRPGs have become a little bit too clean. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but man, Breath of Fire was just a cool world, and I'd like to go back there. It was on Super Nintendo. Okay. So on our last list, I mentioned Dragon Quarter, which is Breath of Fire 5, which was on PlayStation 2, and that was the last proper game to come out. They did attempt to turn this into a mobile game, which, to my understanding, didn't come out outside of Japan, thankfully. And it's not doesn't count. There was Breath of Fire 3 on PlayStation 1, which was used the same sort of SNES 2D graphics, sprites and stuff. Apparently it was like horrifically difficult and heaps of random encounters and stuff, so it's probably not the best game to go back to. But Breath of Fire 2 was just a lot of fun. And like you could build up a village over time during the late part of the game. Nice. You could sort of pay to improve the village over time. The main character, as you're going through the game, he's slowly turning into a more and more powerful dragon. So you'd start where like your main character's main move was like a little baby dragon and then like an adolescent dragon, and finally you could turn into like an elder dragon, kind of like a summon from Final Fantasy series. And it just had such a cool power fantasy, a really diverse type like characters. Like you had an angel, one of the characters Rand, no fucking idea what he is, but he's like this buff rhino anteater looking dude in the bottom left there.
Yeah.
You got a cat girl. Your best friend is like a bulldog, but like humanoid. There's like a frog chef at one point. Yeah, it's just such a cool game. And again, it comes back.
A frog, or is that a chef that cooks frogs? Or both? Probably
both, to be fair. It was a French frog that cooked French food. Like just these games that were fun, and while they had like that serious story, they also had that really playfulness about them as well, which
they didn't take
I guess
too seriously.
I mean, games do that to a certain extent, especially JRPGs. I suppose it's unfair to pretend they don't do that these days either. But I don't know. Breath of Fire just hits really differently sometimes. So
how would
maybe it's nostalgia.
How would you imagine it being reimagined, Sam? Like, would you keep
not?
The old
it needs to be like it needs to be, well, not 16-bit, but in the same way that Dragon Quest games are, even when they're 3D, they still play the same way. Like Dragon Quest 11 plays so similarly to the 16-bit that you can actually switch on the fly between a 16-bit version and the modern day version. Yeah. I think like if it's a game that could do that, even if it doesn't have that exact feature, that's what I want.
The 16-bit aesthetic is timeless. It is absolutely timeless. Yeah.
It is the minimum amount of information you need to create compelling art. And I think that's why it's still popular.
Yeah, absolutely. So good.
Well, like that's one of the things I liked about Donkey Kong was that it was 3D in a 2D world.
I fucking hated that, man. That's why I hated how that game looked.
But like it was using technical limitations at the time. And
it would have blown your fucking socks off at the time.
It looked fantastic at the time, and like they even translated it into Game Boy, like fucking monochrome.
Yeah,
I think like what changes it for me is that it is trying to hint at too much detail versus like the really bold and really like clear lines of like proper 2D art. That's where the challenge is for Donkey Kong Country. Looks great for Super Nintendo, but I think it looks better in the HD systems and stuff where they've cleaned it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't age well, whereas the proper 16-bit sprites, like I said, they're timeless. They look just.
Dom's getting pissed. We need to leave him alone.
Fuck Donkey Kong is such a piece of shit.
Those fucking zinger bees.
Right, cool. My number 3. It's your turn to give me some shit now, Dom. I'm gonna cop some shit for this one because my number 3 is a Zelda game. And you're going to say, Jamie, Zelda's a franchise that's still going strong. It doesn't need to be fucking resurrected. That's ridiculous. Now,
it's going to be Breath of the Wild. None of this Tears of the Kingdom shit.
Yeah. So my reasoning for this is I think that within the Zelda mega franchise, there are many little sub-franchises, right? Little series of games that sort of connect to each other and tell their own little story. Within the Zelda banner, he's had enough. He's gone and just rage vomit into the fucking.
You know what? I'm sick of this. Oh, I don't like Zelda. No, I want more Zelda. Make up your fucking mind.
Now, my number 3 is Wind Waker.
Ooh.
Oh, that's like the worst Zelda.
I want a Wind Waker 2 in a post Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom world. I want that beautiful, dense, open world full of things to do and find.
Whoa,
in
whoa,
Wind Waker.
whoa. Hypocrite.
Which,
Hypocrite.
as everyone remembers, was your favorite thing.
I know,
of,
right?
Breath of
I've
the
watched your
Here's the thing,
video
right?
on Tears of the Kingdom.
Look, if you watch my video on Tears of the Kingdom, you'll know that my problem
There's
was
too
not
much to
Tears of
do.
the Kingdom.
The world's too open.
My issue with Wind Waker, I love Wind Waker. I thought it was a great game. It was my daughter's very first video game, so it's a little bit special for me. But
She made it?
hey,
Right, so your boss.
she made it. Yeah,
She made it.
And I loved it in its own right, right? But the big selling point of Wind Waker was that it was this huge open world that you could explore, right? Like you could get out in the boat on the ocean and just cruise away and look around. The problem was that the ocean may as well be in a fucking desert because there was nothing to find. There was huge open expanses of absolutely fuck all.
Have you played Starfield?
yeah. I
If you're
feel
looking
like
for that
this
experience-
is probably the Zelda version of Starfield. Yeah. So I just love them to take like this is in. I know this was like contentious. It was a contentious entry when it came out. It wasn't terribly well received because of the sudden change in art style, but now retroactively, it's an absolute fan favorite. I think they could knock it out of the park with a Wind Waker 2 with an ocean full of things to actually find and explore and do. Very similar to Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom. That would be amazing game.
See, I wouldn't say Wind Walker made me not like Zelda, but it certainly was a game that didn't compel me to keep thinking about Zelda, particularly after Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
And it is because of the art style. Like, it was just too cartoony for me. It was too Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And that's
I get it.
purely
I mean-
like that is unfair way to judge a game. And I've never gone back to it, but I probably should.
I really like it. I liked the art style. I have always liked the art style. I liked it when I first saw it. I like it now. I really like the Wii U HD re-render of it. Looks absolutely fucking stunning. I think it's beautiful. I'd like them to perhaps, I think there's a nice middle ground there somewhere between young Link from Ocarina of Time and this Link. There's a halfway point in there somewhere that I'd like to see them step up to, keeping this aesthetic, but also bringing it into maybe that realm that we all know and love from Ocarina a little bit more. But
make sure that you do tune in next week for Jamie's new video, My Big Problem with Wind Waker 2.
Yeah.
The boats
Just don't
and
put
the
too
ocean.
much in it. Let me sail the boat for at least 10 meters before I run into something. Okay.
There was too much water.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I want more islands, but not too many islands. I just need the right amount of things to do.
Yeah. I'm like Goldilocks. Okay. All right. That's my number 3.
All right.
Wind
All
Waker.
right. In that case, we're going to go over to Dom, and he's going to give us a number 2. And then once he's given it to us, we're all going to go through it with him. Number 2.
Oh my God, man. That's the biggest stretch yet. There are so many places you could have gone with that one. And
All right. Dom's number 2. I bet it's Spoo. Dom's number 2.
There you go.
I was just trying to be nice.
Bring it back to the
unfortunately,
lowbrow.
It's
What we
not.
do best.
This
Do number 2.
the last time that this game came out in 2011,
Okay. What?
and the last version of this game came out in 2011. And look, I think it absolutely needs to be resurrected. The only fear is that the last one was such a high note in the series that they can't do it justice again. But it should come back just because.
Army of 2.
Driver.
Oh.
I hardly know her.
Hey,
Sorry. Isn't this just GTA without the GT?
No. So the Driver before was real shit because they tried to just copy GTA.
Yep.
Driver San Francisco, which is the one that came out in 2011, was like universally acclaimed. It was a driving game with a storyline.
Yeah.
But they were also like, is it in his head? Is it actually happening? But then to change cars, you were able to like jump into other people's bodies, essentially, that were also driving a car.
I must be thinking of a different game because I don't remember that at all. Is this the game where like you start and you're in a car park and it's like almost impossible to do the maneuvers to get out of the car park in the tutorial?
That's the OG driver.
Okay.
They figured that out for the sequel.
Yeah.
They cut it for number 2.
They got the tech. They invented the tech by then.
This game was so much fun, and they did such a good job on it. Like, how many fucking Assassin's Creed games are there? And yet Ubisoft can't do another fucking driver game? What the shit?
Because you don't have towers to climb to unlock more blocks.
But you as the game went on, you developed the ability to get further and further out, and so eventually, like to start off with, you could only like jump into a car across the road from you, but at the end, you could go out to a car on the other side of the map, and like you could do really cool things. Like if you're in a police chase and you're chasing Baddie's car, you can choose to jump into Baddie's car and instead.
And just crash it.
You, or they're coming up to an intersection. You can jump into a bus that's approaching that intersection and drive across the intersection to block it, so the baddie crashes into that. So you can then it was the way that you jumped around cars was so good, but also the storyline, like it was kind of like a little bit campy, like 70s Starsky and Hutch kind of detective, and they had it kind of broken up into like story arcs, but did like previously on Driver of San Francisco, and did like a recap of what's happened in the story. So if you've not done it for a week and you're jumping back in, you're like, oh yeah, that's what bring
you back into what's happening.
Yeah, the mechanics of the game, the storyline of the game, like it was such a good game, and then nothing's happened like over 10 years, and they've not brought out another driver game. I cannot understand why. It's Ubisoft. How is Ubisoft not gone?
That's interesting. Yeah, you're right.
My PS3, the disk drive failed, and I had one game still on the hard drive because I could only fit one game, and it was this game because there's not been remastered. I can't play it on the PS5 because it wasn't obviously not forward compatible. So I've not played it since my PlayStation 3 died.
Wow. That's a good pick. I didn't play Driver, but I did hear really good things about Driver San Francisco, and I wish I had have played it because it did sound really cool.
Because like I know that the one before this they tried to copy GTA, and they got kind of like the
GTA's already there.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the one I played on PlayStation 2.
Yeah. GTA is kind of like if you swing at the king, you better not miss kind of thing. Like and then they went after that. They went, all right, let's go back to our roots, driving, and like even little things like. You're playing a detective in this, so even if you try and drive at pedestrians, they all jump out of the way. Like you're not running or killing anybody. Like it just,
wait, is that a detective?
It just has a bright, fun feel to it.
Interesting.
That's a good pick.
Interesting.
I think that's a good pick. And I think it could come back, and I think it could do well as well. Yeah. And I think they could, like, especially Ubisoft, I think they could figure out a way to open world that fucking thing. And
well, it was open world.
Yeah, but I mean, put it into their current,
put it into their formula and wreck it so that it's like bland and just a map full of POIs.
I guess what I'm saying is that
make Desmond the driver, you cowards.
Well, it could just be the tech in Assassin's Creed that they're just sending you into cars to do the simulation, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Like it could be Assassin's Creed's What's After Mirage.
It totally could be. It could be a crossover with Assassin's Creed. It's just the next setting.
Yeah, it's just a spin-off.
Yeah, just a modern day
driver Creed San Mirage.
Or just Assassin's Creed driver.
Would you like that, Dom? Would that do it for you?
Look. It's really hard to pick up feathers when you're driving a car.
Or to blend in with other cars.
Or just reaching out of the car as you drive past. It's too hard.
Just with the wrist blade. Just All right. We'll go from one that's plausible to come back to one that's not plausible to come back.
Oh, no. Heartbreak. Oh man. Mega
Man Legends.
Damn.
Like, what happened? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, that game was artful. It was an RPG that somehow took the mechanics of Mega Man, put it in 3D, and it wasn't insufferable. Like, upgrades like increasing your shot distance, increasing how many pellets you can have on screen at once to increase your damage. Like, it was just so great. And like the world that you explore around, the characters, it was just such a good game.
Was it well received, Sam, when it came out? I have a feeling.
I
it
don't
was
remember.
not, right?
Like it was such a weird time. Like PlayStation 1 games, outside your friends group, you have like very little concept of how well the game's received overall.
True.
Particularly since I wasn't getting gaming magazines. Like the only gaming magazine I got when I was that age was like Nintendo Power.
Yeah, so Dom, back
which
in the
didn't
day,
cover this,
you used to
obviously.
have these things called magazines, right? And that's where you got your information on games. They had it's like a thin book, a thin floppy book that came with information about video games in there. It was wild.
Yeah, I mean, I got demo discs. PlayStation.
No. This is a book. This is made of paper, right? Not a disc.
paper,
Discs came
right?
after.
Paper. Hang on, we got to go back another step.
I've got
We love
very.
you, Dom.
I've got,
Book.
Oh, it's this part, right? The covering of. Okay.
my memories of the game specifically are really vague, apart from the fact that it was just such a fun experience. Because I only played it once. I played it while it was current, and this was like a long time ago now. I didn't look up the dates, Dom. But man, like Mega Man is just such a wasted opportunity in the year 2023. I know they brought out, was it Mega Man 10 relatively recently?
Yeah.
I say relatively recently, but far out. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure there's a collection that's got Mega Man Legends on it, so maybe I'll try and track that down. But
Oh, is there really?
maybe I might be making it up. I was in VR the
couple
other
of
day
legacy
because I got a
collections,
VR
you know.
headset, and I was visiting. I found like this collection of rooms that are all Mega Man themed, and they had a bunch of like all the Mega Man costumes, including like Legends and X and the originals and stuff. And it just made me think of Mega Man. I was like, oh god, this is so comfy.
I'm just gonna live here.
Yeah. I ran through the first level of Mega Man X in VR in 3D, like just
Oh,
walking
nice.
through it. That
Yeah,
was
cool.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. All
That's
right,
my number two.
My number two. I'm going to continue on the same train there with you, Sammy. I've got another retro series that I'd love to see come back, and I don't really know why it hasn't. But I've got another particularly interesting piece of trivia for Dom specifically on this one. My number two is F-Zero.
Hey, it's back. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. So discounting F-Zero 99, which is a lot
Yeah,
of
it
fun.
doesn't count. Yeah.
But I'm talking about a fully fledged entry into the series. We had F-Zero, we have F-Zero X, then we had F-Zero GX, and then that was it. That's all we got. And it was so much fun. It's such a good game. It's such a great arcade racer. Again, that word that we've been tossing around.
Like I never played this because I didn't have a 64, but I played Wipeout. Is it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
is
similar
it
sort of thing.
Similar gameplay, like
Similar type of gameplay, a little bit more like the tracks were pretty wild in F-Zero. Like you would be racing along a cylinder, like the outside of a cylinder.
Yeah,
So you
okay.
could like spin all the way around the outside, you know?
I mean, I
things
get it though.
like
Like
that.
I don't know why it's not come back. Like
Well-
Wipeout did well enough to have three expansions. They've got
I'd
Red,
love to
Red
like, and
Gun
this would
2 or
be
something like that is like another kind of thing.
an instant hit. If this came back, it would sell like crazy because it's a popular franchise. Like fucking Captain Falcon has been in more games that are not his own series than his own fucking series. That's crazy. That is crazy.
There are people who see Captain
He's a
Falcon
Super Smash
in
Brothers character, right?
Smash Brothers and go,
Yeah.
who the hell is that?
and go, who the hell? Or they think he is. That's yeah, exactly like what Sam said. That's what
Oh,
he's
look,
from. He's from Super Smash Brothers, right?
It's John Halo from Fortnite.
So here's my interesting trivia on this one. So the last F-Zero game, GX, came out in the GameCube in 2004. It's the last time we saw F-Zero. But I found this fascinating. In 2011, Nintendo flirted with the idea of bringing F-Zero back, right? And they approached Criterion to talk about for them to make a new F-Zero game for the Wii U, right? Criterion, they turned it down because all of their resources at the time were going towards Need for Speed Most
Yeah.
Wanted. Imagine a world where that was not the case. I thought that was crazy. I had
to say,
no
my world
idea.
probably wouldn't change, but I can appreciate that it might for others.
Yeah. The
It's like
F-Zero-
there's a sliding doors moment there.
Yeah, little bit.
Is there must be like some moral fucking prerogative for companies to like do better for their franchises, right?
Yeah, this is
Like
one of
it's
those
immoral for some of
it's
these
like a
games to not
fucking
be
launch title for the Super Nintendo,
yeah.
right? This and the Super Nintendo, one of the most beloved consoles of all time, launched with F-Zero. Why do we not have F-Zero games?
Do you think they might be testing the water with F-Zero 99 to see, like...
No, they don't need to test. There's no test needed.
I mean,
No,
I
make
hope
sure
you're
that
right.
they're still
I hope you're right,
performing
Dom. I hope that
well.
is what's happening. And then they're like, oh, wow, there's a lot of fucking people playing this. We should make another F-Zero game. That would be
That's
fantastic.
ridiculous. No, that's ridiculous. I reject that on its face. They could release an F-Zero game and it will be a success.
Yeah, Dom, you fucking moron.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Miyazaki.
What they're doing is they're using the it's like when Magic do reprints, right? They're trying to preserve the capital of the series so that they can make more money when they do. Yeah.
So what you're saying, Nintendo has the list?
Yeah, and they're using reprint equity, and they're fucking like, you know, that's why we don't get a lot of Metroid games. That's why we don't get a lot of F-Zero games. That's why we get Mario games every fucking like mainline Mario games every 5 years or some bullshit now.
Fucking
So Mario's a common.
yeah.
F-Zero is the mythic. What's
No,
the rare?
no, Mario's are rare. 100% Mario's are rare. The common is Smash Brothers.
No, come on.
Smash
Mario
Brothers
game.
has been
Smash Brothers.
consistently maintained, and like
Pokemon is the common.
I don't think of that as. I know it's partly owned by Nintendo, but I don't think of that as a Nintendo.
Yeah.
Purebred Nintendo, you know, none of
And
these.
Pokemon, just like Magic, sometimes has a
Plays
really
Half-Life.
broken common that ruins everything.
It's chaff, right?
Yeah. Anyway, my number 2, F-Zero. Please bring it back, Nintendo. What are you doing? What are you doing? Bring it back. Bring it back.
Bum. Okay,
Right,
Dom.
Go on, your last one. Go on.
For number 1, what game would you like to see come back because it was fun?
Okay, yeah. I'll pay that. Yeah, well done. All right. So,
I'm a rapper.
Tangent. Do you
I've never heard of Tangent.
No.
This Is Your Life back in the day?
No, why would I do that?
Monroe.
That's ridiculous. My grandma did that.
yeah.
I didn't do that. What are you guys,
All right.
crazy? I watched Captain Planet and Rocko's Modern Life.
Hang on. Well, just do you remember
He-Man.
voice?
Welcome
Come.
to City 17. You have
It's about fucking time that Valve pulls their thumb out of their goddamn ass.
Someone had to do it. Someone had to do it.
2004 Half-Life 2 came out.
Get him, Dom. Get him. Get him, boy.
2 came
Let
out
him
in
off the chain.
2011.
Well, you done it now, Gabe.
There's so much story that's not wrapped up.
What year did episode 3 come out?
Oh,
It didn't. That's a joke.
no.
Trick question.
No. Episode 2.
Like, forget Half-Life 3. Episode 3 hasn't even come in. Have you played Half-Life Alyx? Is that on PlayStation?
No, they haven't ported it yet.
Right.
Just
Because they made
I
that.
don't care
Fuck
if
Half-Life
it's
3.
bad. I don't care if it's bad. I don't care if it ruins your name, Valve. You've got Steam. You're gonna make heaps of money. Don't fucking worry about it. You've just brought out Counter-Strike 2. You've got a new engine that you can put it in. Just fucking finish it.
Right. Listen, money on the table right now. Do you think it will ever happen?
Yes,
You think it will?
eventually. But
Okay. No. Let's put a modifier on that. Do you think it will ever happen with Gabe at the head of Valve?
Ooh.
Because I can see it happening like in 20 years if Gabe has moved on and, you know, the company still exists and they go back looking, okay, what can we do from our catalog of what we own? But Steam, Valve, as we know it today, do you think it'll happen without major changes?
yes, but I don't think
He didn't even bring the Steam Deck to Australia. You're not getting Half-Life 3.
And like, but the thing is, like they've said, like, oh, it's been so long, and whose fucking fault was that? But it's been so long, like we have to make sure that it lives up to the hype. I'm like, well,
No, you don't.
it can't. There is no way that it can live up to the hype.
That's right.
But
It's a Dark Knight fucking
it's
Rises.
like, if there is any game in the history of video games that needs to be resurrected, it's the one that has the company still actively working, actively owning the engine it was made on, that never finished the fucking story. The only thing stopping this from being finished is Valve.
Okay. Another question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how enraged would you be if they announced they were remaking Half-Life 1 from scratch?
You know what? I'd be really fucking pissed off because Black Mesa did it so well.
What if
Just, you know what? Fuck it. Buy the Black Mesa team. Make them make Half-Life 3, okay?
what if they remade Half-Life 1 and called it Half-Life 3?
There needs to at least to be a mission that ties in Portal 2 and its time loops, and like if it's
GLaDOS is running a simulation in your head.
Half-Life 1.5.
You shall not advance or something.
I could deal. Like, it had to have to be some kind of like Ouroboros situation.
Ouroboros?
Turns out Shell is Gordon Freeman's mother, and the start of the game, Gordon Freeman is born fully formed in the HEV.
Something Wheatley.
Look, I don't think you're going to get any fucking pushback on this one, Tom, at all. Just no one. No one's going, no, we don't want it.
I feel sorry for Half-Life enjoyers. You guys are hard done by.
Absolutely. Keep the dream alive, though.
Didn't enjoy it.
Hey, look. Keep the dream
I haven't
alive.
played the Half-Life games, so I'm one of those guys.
No, I haven't either. But I intend to.
They're good games.
Yeah, I intend to.
Yeah, no, I don't. I remember everyone being so like excited to play and like going, holy shit, if you put the barrel on this plank, the physics engine will figure out the weight and the plank goes up and then you can get out of the room.
Well, I don't think there's many games that have had
physics puzzles like that.
No, but as many spin-offs.
Mm.
Like, because of Half-Life, we have Counter-Strike, we have Team Fortress 2, we had Day of Defeat, like all of these, and then the amount of games that like took stuff from what they'd done. Like,
you think about, right, shooters pre-Half-Life, right? You were literally dropped into a level and away you go, shoot things. Pre-Half-Life, that's how shooters worked. Then Half-Life came along and fucking changed everything.
Whoa. Duke Nukem 3D was plenty cinematic at the start.
That's well known for its dense storytelling.
Are you kidding? Like
urine sounds.
Build engine. Okay, I'm sorry. You're going through the first stage of Duke Nukem. Your spaceship gets blown up. You drop down from it. You go into the fucking movie theater. You blow open wall. It's amazing.
You're not comparing that to fucking Half-Life, man. What are you talking about?
Hey. From the people that were like, oh, I miss arena shooters, you're looking at what killed it in many ways is the cinematic shooter, which made arena shooters far less popular moving forward.
Oh, them's fighting words, Dom.
What?
Half-Life and its cinematic presentation set the scene for games going forward. That's not an arena shooter. That's a capture the flag. What I'm saying is like Half-Life 2 changed what the market was looking for the next big hit. So everything tried to be like Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every game ever was like that, but it was a shift away from your Quakes and your Unreals and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but that's towards narratively driven games, which
there was before.
Certainly wasn't a thing in shooters.
Yeah, Half-Life 2 was what set that expectation up and what set the standard for a cinematic experience in a first-person shooter.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
I'll link you to the video essay. I got a lot to link out.
Well, that's a great number one. I'm like, yeah.
Eat my nuts.
All right, Sammy. What's your most? I want to see if I can. Can
I'm
I
not
guess?
taking my
What's your
word.
guess?
Is it something really fucking obscure, or will I know it?
You probably won't know it. You might know it. You might go, "Oh, I've heard of that" when you see it, but I don't think you'd guess it.
Okay, because I thought Silent Hill. I thought Mega Man might be your number one, but it isn't.
Which was hang on before.
See, the thing is, I got bored of Mega Man X before Mega Man X ended.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I never
Mega Man
got
X was
into
not a very
Zero.
good game.
I never got in. Mega Man X was fantastic. X1, 2, and 3. Mwah.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. What was the one they brought out very, very, very recently?
Do you mean Mighty Number 9?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. No, I thought there was
Or
another
the-
Mega Man, like
Oh, there's like
3D
Battle. There's like Battle Network, which is like a Pokemon sort of game.
Oh, okay. Anyway, go on.
But there's chips and stuff. All right, the Soul Blazer trilogy, and I'm gonna call to Terranigma.
Oh, you fucking love this. You
Oh.
spent 30 minutes telling me about this game on our games retreat. Yeah, there it is, baby. Wow. You adore this shit.
This is the cartridge I actually own. Like, this is the physical cartridge that I had sold off and didn't know where it went for years. And then one of my friends, a year or so ago, I asked if they had their Super Nintendo still, and they said yes. They had this fucking game,
Fuck
and I
off.
had
No
sold
way.
it to them.
They had
Hands
your
down.
cartridge.
My copy that I sold to them, and I forgot I'd sold to them. I think I'd sold it to their little brother.
Crazy.
It didn't have my save on it or anything still. But man, Soul Blazer, Enix are such a fantastic game, and it's a fantastic series that there's nothing like it anymore. Like, it is a series that was really heavily inspired by like environmentalism, I guess, in a way, like conservation, so. The Soul Blazer was the first game, and I haven't played Soul Blazer, I'll be perfectly honest. It was a relatively early experimental game where there was like city building elements mixed with 2D platformers. And being a JRPG nerd, that didn't tickle me at the time. The first game in the series I played was Illusion of Time, which is also Illusion of Gaia in America. And like, that game was about like a world that was warped by a comet that had changed the pace of evolution, and you needed to restore it. And like, it was this really cool sort of story where like, you're in a fantasy world, and then in the end, when you defeat Dark Gaia, you undo all of the warping she's done of like evolution and the world and the way that things had played out. And it actually restores the world that's a fantasy world back to our world. And like, your characters are suddenly in high school and have no memory of what they've just gone through. But like, during the game, you go through like the Incan ruins, you go through what's that name of those things? There's those patterns you can see from the sky.
The lines, Nazca lines.
Nazca lines. Like, you go there, you go to the Hanging Garden of Babylon. Like, you go to all these sort of ancient Near East style places and sort of find out at the truth behind the world and stuff. And Terranigma is like the third in the series. And this is like, before I knew anything about like conspiracy theories and shit, like the game on the back is like, you live inside the world on the inner part. Like, it's like that conspiracy theory of the Hollow Earth theory, where there's like a world inside the world and there's a sun at the center of the planet that sustains that world.
Like, it sounds like the back of the box is like one level down from just printing, "Wake up, please wake up, you're in a coma."
And like, your character is just a shithead that opens Pandora's box, freezes all the villagers, and has to go and unfreeze them by visiting 5 towers. And like, that sounds like what the game is. And you go to each of the towers, you resurrect the continents on the main surface, and find out that, okay, you actually need to go and fucking resurrect the entire planet now. Good luck. The game's just starting. And it just, the way it opens up and the way it takes you from like literally a barren planet to like guiding civilization to grow and guiding like innovation in humans to like help them move forward until the point that you save the world again. It's just, yeah, man, it's such a good series.
Sounds like there's too much to do. I think Jamie would like it.
No.
No, but it's like, there's lots of times when you don't do much, and so you don't get distracted. But it's like a faux open world game too. There are points where the game opens up and you can choose where to go, and like, you may or may not develop cities, if depending on your choices and stuff. It was an action RPG as well, action JRPG. So there's a kind of rare these days.
Does it have, like, was it multiple ending? or like
No, single ending. But man,
like, I feel like the way that you've described it, if they brought it back, like that easily makes itself for like multiple endings.
No, I think the game, and like this is part of what I like about JRPGs, is that they tell a very tight and a very specific story, and I don't think they always get any value from multiple endings, particularly with Terranigma.
Just because like you're saying, like, oh, it goes back to this, like it's just like a different epilogue or something like that, I suppose.
Yeah, I tell you what, if anything else, one of the saddest moments in gaming is when like you resurrect animals and like you make friends with this tiger cub that gets thrown down into like a chasm by its parents and has to try and survive, and you go and protect it and you help all the animals and stuff. And like the moment you're about to resurrect humanity, you're told that once you do this, you can never talk to your animal friends again. And that is devastating, absolutely devastating, that you say goodbye to these creatures. And like when you come back to like the lions that you helped, like you just get dots when you talk to them.
Oh no,
that's it. And you're like, oh my God, my friends, they're just there, but we are so far apart now. The game is so good.
And this is like on the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. And it is like, just...
Look at some of the games that this is sitting alongside of from the era. This is insanity for something.
It creates one of the most comprehensive mythologies by itself out of any single piece of media that I've come across. Like the amount of thought that goes, like the idea that like you have this link to the girl in the village from the center of the planet, but like you never see her again after you leave, but you see shadows of her and stuff. You end up finding a village that's like a replica of yours on the surface, and it's a mystery. And like at one point you find out that there's some, looming threat, obviously, and you need to go and resurrect the hero to protect from the threat. And you do that by collecting 5 gems and putting them into these skulls in some desert somewhere. And like this is taking place on our planet. Like when you're playing the game, it's Australia, it's Europe, it's America, it's China. Like it's the actual places in the planet. And you collect all the gems. And once you collect the final gem, and the game is like, the hero has been resurrected and it's you, and you get your memories back that you're the person that keeps coming back to fight Dark Gaia every time Dark Gaia comes back. Because it's linked. Like it's a trilogy with Illusion of Gaia. Oh.
It reminds me a bit of Fifth Element.
The movie with that chick that's hot.
Yes, with Mila Jovovich.
That's it. Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, because it's a the threat that comes back all the time, and yeah, that sounds really cool.
Now, what is the chances of this ever being picked up and
0? So this game was created by Enix, or published by Enix, I should say. And so I actually follow the subreddit for Terranigma. And look, to be fair, there's not a lot of activity on the Terranigma subreddit, but people will post comics and stuff, and people will be like, oh, hey, I think the anniversary was recently, so someone was doing a playthrough. But from what I've been able to gather from the talks there is that while Enix was bought by Squaresoft, and they became obviously Square Enix, the IP for Soul Blazer itself is in tricky areas. In saying that, there was the recent remaster of Soul Blazer. So Soul Blazer was remastered and re-released. Whether Illusion of Gaia, Terranigma, who knows? One thing that Terranigma has got going against it is it was never released in America. It's only released in the Europe region, so it doesn't have that same cachet as like games that Americans think of fondly, because it's not a cult classic in America in the same way that like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI or even Soul Blazer is or Illusion of Time.
Is this a series where you could just go in and play Terranigma, or do you have to play a whole
Terranigma? They all stand by themselves, and while they're referred to as a trilogy, they're a trilogy in the sense that they all deal with the same broad themes. So Gaia, evolution, the planet itself being in balance, that sort of stuff. So they're a thematic trilogy rather than a story trilogy.
I feel like I might actually need to have a look at this game at some point. Like you've kind of.
It'd be interesting to see how it holds up, because there are frustrating moments in it, but in saying that, the game, I think a normal playthrough takes like 25 hours. And I think I remember, because I played this game multiple times, which is rare for me even back then. And I think my quickest playthrough was like 8 hours, but that's knowing exactly what I needed to do.
You knew what you were doing. 25 hours is about a standard Pokemon adventure, isn't it? Really,
And there are like puzzles in it, very light puzzles, but it's interesting.
Hearing you talk about it so fondly on multiple occasions, I feel
I've got to play it again. I keep playing it occasionally.
it's always something I'm really interested in doing is playing my friends' favorite games, like just to see and experience what it is that makes it so special for others.
And it's like I keep thinking I need to play Half-Life because so many people love Half-Life, and I've never played those games. Probably Half-Life 2 more than Half-Life 1, but
I love that Dom's still flying the Half-Life flag down there too. That's great.
It's not going away.
No, hey, look, brother, leave it there for sure. All right,
All right,
nice.
Jamie.
Well, my number one is
Bring it home.
I don't know about you guys, but my number one, like as soon as we knew we were doing this topic, I was like, well, that's my number one. And now I'll sit down and think about what the rest of my list is.
yeah, I was the same with mine.
Yep. No surprise whatsoever. And just like Sam, there is absolutely zero chance that we will ever see this be resurrected. But oh my Lord, would I love it to be. And that is Castlevania.
Oh,
You reckon there's no chance?
I reckon
There's no chance. I really do think there's no chance.
Why?
Okay, what was the cutoff point for Castlevania in your mind? Because there's
On
a
my
few
mind-
options here.
There is. Yeah, I think it's when was it the director or the creator separated from Konami and went and made
What game
Bloodstained?
though?
Oh, you mean like
Like what game in the series? Like is it Rondo of Night? Is it Super Castlevania? Is it 64?
Oh, you
is
mean
it
like what's the iconic Castlevania? Is that what you're talking about? Or
do you consider all the Castlevanias that have come out, including those remakes, as like valid, for want of a better word?
No, I'm looking
Like
at
at what point did it go dormant for you?
For me, what I've written down here is in 2008 was the last mainline entry into the Castlevania series. Lords of Shadow came along after
Lords
that.
of Shadow. Yeah,
Lords of
okay.
Shadow, I think it's the one you're trying to think of. And I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
play
it.
Lords of Shadow, and I would really like to, but it's fucking hard to find now, I think.
Man, it was so cheap at EB Games. I bought it on whatever
Yeah.
PlayStation it was at some point. I don't have a copy
At
anymore.
one point,
but
they were fucking giving it away, and
yeah, that
now
bargain bin.
you cannot find it anywhere. And it looked like a really genuinely good game. But I'm not
It's a good game.
counting
It's
it.
not a Castlevania game.
No, exactly. That's why I'm not counting it, because it's not. It's
Yeah.
like it's a good game. It looks like a good, fun action game, but it's not a Castlevania game. But yeah, I was not into this genre in any way, shape, or form when this genre was big, and now I am. And the king is no longer around, and that's a real fucking shame. I'd love to have another 2D, like beautiful, animated, like hand-drawn animation. It doesn't necessarily need to be 16-bit, but not that pseudo fucking Donkey Kong shit of putting 3D models. Right? I hate that shit. Give me an
Sorry, Dom.
actual
Sorry, Dom.
2D with beautiful 2D
Well, I
artwork.
suppose, like that's why you like Hollow Knight so much.
It's one of the massive reasons why I love Hollow Knight so much is the aesthetic, is how it looks and how it animates. Yeah, and I'd love to see Castlevania get that same treatment.
So you like the thoughtful playstyle? So Hollow Knight's very
I do.
tight and very precise, whereas I find Castlevania is very thoughtful and very methodical because of the way it controls.
Yeah. I think it's something that I would, if it came back, I'd be on it in a heartbeat. No question at all.
I just want it for a new remix of Vampire Killer because that fucking goes off.
Yeah,
If
boy.
If it comes back, they'll just make it a Souls-like.
Well,
I mean, if it was proper Souls like that, wouldn't be bad, honestly.
yeah.
If it had like the exploration and but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see it turn into a Dark Souls-esque game. I want to see it stay true to its roots if it came back. And I think I'd fucking love it. I'd love that aesthetic. I love the storyline of Castlevania. The anime is my favorite anime of all time. Everything about it I love. I love the setting. I just think, this is for me, this was a no-brainer. And I think for a lot of people, it's a no-brainer as well. Like a lot of people, I think, would love to see Castlevania get resurrected.
I think they've more recently done pachinkos of Castlevania.
Yeah, exactly. That's fucking all Konami does these days. God damn it.
But what's the story like on the pachinkos?
It depends if you win or not, and if you walk away with a new Switch.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my number one to bring us all to a close. Castlevania.
Castlevania.
I mean, you said that this was going to be a happier list, but I just feel sad now. Sam.
I know it is a little bit like that, isn't it? When you hit on these beautiful, amazing things that you remember so fondly, or would love to try, and there's no fucking chance that you're ever going to be able to.
But we can still play the games that we love. Like, we want them resurrected because the games are great, and the games are still great, even if they don't get remade or brought back. So,
Yep.
Sam,
That's how I
would
prefer
you-
to look at it.
How would you feel, Sam, about playing Half-Life 2 and me like digitally hovering over your shoulder while you did that?
And just mocking me because I can't hit fucking enemies. Does it have aim assist?
If you get the orange box version, it does.
I'm on PC. I'll have to have a look at it at one point. How long is Half-Life 2? It's like only like 9 hours or something, isn't it?
It's a longer. I don't know. I remember it being longer than you think. There you go, 13 hours apparently.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. See, this year is just fucked though, right? So, Tears of the Kingdom, followed by Final Fantasy 16, followed by 004, followed by what was after that? There was something specific after that.
City Skylines.
Oh no, there's been something before that.
Spider-Man's about to come out.
Spider-Man's about to come
We'll
out.
go Spider-Man, we'll go Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
It's gonna
City
take a while
Skylines
to
2.
get through the entire plot line of City Skylines 2, I think.
Oh, the game, I can't fucking wait.
Well, you're gonna have to.
It's technically it doesn't
Unless you
matter
get
because
told by a certain YouTuber.
I'll just play Spider-Man and I'll just play Super Mario Wonder for the next 3 days and it will just fly by. What is it? Saturday? No, Friday. God, it's Thursday, isn't it? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 5 days to get through and then City Skylines.
Oh, you'll make it. You'll make it for sure.
Well, yeah, with Super Mario Wonder and stuff. And I'm still going through all the VR headset honeymoon period.
Yeah. Well,
Baldur's Gate 3, that was the other game I was thinking
That
of.
was it. Yes, that was the one you're missing. Baldur's Gate 3. Yep. All right.
we
You want to
can
close this
all-
out, Sammy, or what?
we can all live in hope at least.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hope alive.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully, we've mentioned some games and some franchises that you might want to go back and revisit, even if they're not going to be resurrected. Like I was saying, the great games are still back there, and there's still a lot of fun to have in the backlog.
Just
And
jump
say-
onto the Nintendo eShop and get yourself a copy of Terra Enigma, and you'll have a great time.
Yes, go to the eShop and get a copy.
Go to Gabriel's
back up.
house in New Zealand and demand Half-Life 3.
Go and back up your legal copy of Terra Enigma so you can play it upscaled with anti-aliasing. And yeah, look, if you've got any franchises that you think should get a resurrection, leave them in the comments. If you think any of the resurrections that we have hoped for are ridiculous, Donkey Kong Country,
Donkey Kong, yeah.
leave a thumbs up in the comments. But look, other than that, guys, what do you guys got coming up? Jamie, what's coming up for you? What are your
That's a good
What's
question.
on your gaming-
I don't know. I actually don't know what I'm going to be playing soon. I'm in the middle. Well, I've just kicked off my Pokemon Fire Red adventure.
Yep.
I've just kicked off my Halo Combat Evolved campaign with Scotty.
I did see that you were throwing grenades at Scotty.
Yep, that was
I don't know what was up with that.
complete accident.
Yeah. Let's play in
and
Legendary, guys. Let's go.
Scott and I are actually planning on doing a bit of a chat soon, doing a little bit of a retrospective of the Zelda franchise as a whole. So that's something we might have coming up soon. But other than that, I'll be around.
Everything
Just
that
playing some
Jamie
stuff
hated about it.
Yeah, too much things.
There were too many pieces of heart, and there were too many arrows, and there was too many pots. All right, Dom. What about you? What are your
Well, I'm going.
what's your gaming future?
My gaming future is City Skylines 2. The second, for real this time. Like,
No one buys that shit anymore. You put your stupid face on that thumbnail with another logo of City Skylines 2. No one's clicking on that, man.
one copy of City Skylines 2, not
Still equals 2. Yeah. We should figure out maybe some sort of challenge, like not a I'm better than you challenge, because I don't want to just win. Like, something a little bit more balanced would be great.
Like,
Yeah, we should
I think that'd be great.
We should figure out something that we can do since we'll both be playing it.
Race.
I mean, once we get it,
A race.
if well, I was.
We can't race because I've got more time than him.
But also, my thought was if we can export save files, take the
Hey.
city back and forth.
Okay, here's an idea, right? If we'll both get a little bit of play in, and then we'll figure out some milestones where we swap at a certain milestone.
Yeah.
It won't have to. It can't be every milestone because, from what I can tell, they come quite quickly now.
Yeah.
Like
But,
hot city in the same city.
Yeah, we'll just spin it back and forth on the save.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be able to do that because Wait, you playing on PC or
I'm playing on
PlayStation? Okay, cool.
PlayStation's delayed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be playing on Game Pass, so hopefully, if you're on Game Pass, it'll be fine.
Mm.
Or if you're on Steam, it'll be fine as well. So.
Apart from that, I did I did start the other day, and then turns out you shouldn't use two microphones when you're streaming accidentally. So
We've all been there.
I have started rebuilding my space shuttle. There's part of the Hubble Space Telescope there. So if you like this noise, keep an eye out, and I'll pop up on the channel. Just chilling, vibing, and listen to some tunes and building some Legos.
Yep.
Lego.
He's got a
Lego.
very easy listening voice, Dom. He really does.
Mm.
Thank you very much, Dom. We look forward to that.
It's 10:42 now, and I'm back in the Sam.
All right. Well, if you are looking for somewhere to hang out and chill out a little bit, in the next couple of days, I'll hopefully tomorrow evening be playing Super Mario Wonder. So I've got that ordered from Amazon. We're testing it out to see their next day delivery.
Yeah,
So that should be a whole lot of fun. And Wednesday during the day, which will be a bit of a change, but I do have some time off. So when City Skylines 2 comes out, straight in there, son.
Yeah, boy.
In there, like swimming there.
First, motherfucker.
What's that?
Not if I get on the channel first.
Hey, check the calendar, bitch. Check the calendar. All right. Booked out, my friend. Booked out.
Midnight release, get him.
This is just
So
7-day long event, Sam.
Told you got some time off. All right, fantastic. All right, thanks, guys. You can find some more information on some of our socials down below, so you can follow us to make sure that you get notified when we go live. Subscribe, hit the bell, smash that like button. Jamie wanted me to say that. He sent me a private message. And enjoy. Have a great rest of the morning, day, or evening, and we'll be back before you even know it. And my end card's not working.
Click the button.